fucking podcast Tuesday.
Damn, we're on time for 8:30.
We're on time.
We're on time for 8:30.
All right, so welcome everybody to Vice Unfiltered. What episode are we on? You got?
Should we do the show? You guys ready to watch? You guys ready? Everybody here ready?
Ready to start the fucking show.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Everybody out there, I want to welcome you to the best show going today. The one that makes a difference. Not only just makes you laugh, but makes you feel something, makes you learn something, experience something. This is Advice Unfiltered, episode 21. Woo! We're legal.
Yeah. Yeah, think about it. You realize that we're legal today.
We're legal today.
We're men today.
We're men today. We could drink. 21 episodes in.
Like my son called me when he's like, I turned 18. He's like, I go, what's up? He goes, I'm a man. I'm like, kind of. Is it my balls dry? Maybe.
Almost there.
All right. So welcome to everybody for Advice Unfiltered. If you're watching on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, anywhere from around the world, we saw Trinidad, Australia, London already.
Yeah, Hawaii. So, we got everywhere going on.
We got everywhere. So no stress to our guests today. We got an awesome lineup.
No pressure to the guests.
No pressure to anybody who's going to be like, how many people watch? I go, don't worry about it. 7 Madison Square Gardens. So we're all good. So today is a special episode. We're going to get right into it. So first off, but as always, behind the scenes, the man in command behind the camera, he is always there. How you doing today, Christian?
What's going on, guys?
Look at you with the hair tied back, looking good.
I need to change.
Are you gonna shave up the sides and go mohawk deep on it? That's what you're gonna do?
Mohawk. I couldn't.
That'd be cool as shit, bro. I would love that.
Imagine if I showed up here with a fucking.
I would love that.
We'd love it.
I would love that.
Like with all my hair gelled up, just like.
Oh, dude.
I look like Spike.
You have to come and go. What you talking about, fool?
What you talking about?
You have to come and go. What you talking about, fool?
That would be awesome. So
I was missing my Mr. T impression just in case anybody didn't know.
We had to age ourselves and be like, there was a show back in the day.
It was awesome.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive. Yeah. I think so.
I think so.
Who is Mr. T?
I was gonna say people are probably like, "What's the reference?"
Oh my god!
So
B.A. Baracus, man.
All right, so
I remember that movie from 2010.
Which one?
Yeah, it's a TV show.
It's a movie or TV
Ray
show.
Jackson played him in that one.
Oh, in the movie, right?
In the movie, yeah. Ray Jackson played him in that.
Yeah.
How to Trigger Chris 101.
Right. Stop affecting my old heroes.
Well, as you guys know, it's a special episode today. June being Men's Mental Health Month.
Yes.
We couldn't think of we are been so excited about this episode. It is the best follow-up we could possibly do to last year's Father's Day episode, which all of our kids came on. And as myself and Chris go down this road, especially with Ben Rose coming from Kapala this week to start the new campaign that will be the Faces Up for redefining masculinity and what it be as a man, and coming off 2 really great episodes this month. This one is the most important by far. It's the home run episode. We have 3 esteemed military veterans on the show, all from different branches of the military, here to talk about their experiences, here to talk about what they've been through, everything from being a parent, a father, the struggles, the mental health. Why is this important? Why do we tell all of you to tell your brothers and sisters and fathers and cousins to watch the show tonight? Because this, I think, will be the most impactful show that we probably do in our history, I think.
Nah, I would say so far.
So far.
We got some good shit coming our way. I think I'm excited about this show. I'm really excited about it because that one, these are all my friends. Everybody here I consider a good friend. I consider a brother in arms. We all relate on a level that we've all been through some shit, and we've all been there for, had to prove ourselves not only to become men, but to be the fathers that our kids deserve, right? And so I couldn't be more honored that everybody accepted to be on here. We got Dominic, we got Tom, we got Al coming back. We got some great people on this show, man. Listen, if you know anybody struggling right now, and this is why I'm doing the show. This is why it's so important to me and Tony. It's because the biggest problem, especially in mental health, especially for men, but for everybody, is they feel alone. They feel alone. You feel like you're the only one going through it, or you're the only one that can understand what you're going through. And the truth of the matter of fact is, you're not. You're not alone. You know what I mean? The fact is that there is millions of people out there that are quietly suffering, that are quietly feeling pain. I just want to let you know that you're not alone. We all go through it, man. And then the best part about this show right here is we have people who've gone through it and who've survived, who've come out the other side. And that's why I thought the show was so important. That's why me and Tony talked about it. We thought it was really important to talk about on Father's Day. Because again, if we really want to make a difference, man, we can't shy away from it. We can't not talk about it. We can't not, try to be the difference that makes a difference. Right. So we're here to talk about it. We're here to be what a positive masculine role model is supposed to be. You know, we're going to be out here doing the hard talks, and we're going to come through it together as a community, as a group, so that way, you know, we all benefit from that, right?
Yeah, and as we look at and the thing I would want everyone to realize, and why we really appreciate Dominic coming on and Tom and Al back, is because we talked about this last time. What it really takes is, as men, we have to start stepping up and being really taking control of our own destiny. We need one person in the friend group to turn around and say, hey, are you okay? To send a message, to tell people how they feel, to tell someone they love them. It only takes one guy in the friend group to really break that ice. And the crazy part is, once somebody stands up, it's amazing how the rest of your friend group fills in, and all of a sudden they start opening up and talking about it. But somebody's got to step up. And first person to step up today,
Yeah.
he's been on so many podcasts all over the world. He's so well known. Look at him.
There's Dominic.
There he is. Look at it.
Comfortable with
Look
this.
at him. He told
I
us
like your
he's
shirt, by the way. Just
Yeah,
read it on the
right.
screen. Fishing
Yeah.
buddy
There we
calls
go.
me dad. That's
Yeah.
fucking awesome, bro.
It's a present from my son last Father's Day.
I love
so-
that. I love that,
It was
bro.
a good one.
I love that. How
Yeah.
many kids you got?
I got two.
You
I
got
got
two?
older daughter and younger son. So,
Nice, bro. Fuck yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool as shit. You
Yeah.
want to give a shout out?
my daughter Ariana, my son Blake.
There you go.
You know.
Right on.
Very, very proud.
There you
So,
go, dude.
yeah.
See, you see a
Yeah.
smile on his
Yeah.
face.
See?
Proud dad right there.
Yeah.
Look, you already fell into how to do a podcast. You're good, bro.
There
You're
we
good.
go.
So-
There we go.
Yeah, right.
All right. So first off, no, for in all honesty, we know this is your first real podcast appearance, right?
Yeah.
So don't be nervous
absolutely.
about it. We'll help you. If don't be afraid to fuck up. We do all the time, so
Yeah,
it's fine.
No, that's all right.
So
You'll
let's
get some.
get
Let's
into
get
it.
into
Let's
it.
get into it, right? So let's talk about. So me and Dominic met at the gym.
Yep.
Yeah, we met at the gym. I work out. He works out. He works there too. Works out there. Freaking does his thing. And Dominic's a beast. But you came up to me, correct? If I remember correctly, right? We talked at the
Yeah.
gym,
Yeah.
and I want to tell them how we met.
It was you're one of the first people I talk to almost nobody when I go to the gym. So it's my own little safe space. I fight what's going on in my head every day. I've been doing it since like 2007.
Yeah.
So I ran into you. I think I forget what I asked you, but you were a very welcoming, right? Very, very open, very easy to talk to. So it was like kind of instant
Yeah.
hit it off on that.
So Dominic started watching my stuff, right? If I remember
Yeah.
correctly, right? You started watching my stuff.
Yeah.
And I didn't know he was watching my Instagrams and all that crap. I didn't know he was watching it all. And then he came up to me one day and told me thank you, right? That you were going through it, right? And that my post really helped you, right? So that's what we really connected at. Once you told me that, I was like, all right, well, I have to know more. like, I know like, what are you going through, bro? Like, what are you doing? Like, what's going on? And then he told me that he was fighting some demons, right? And do you want to talk about those demons, or you okay to talk about those?
Yeah. No, let's get into
let's get into it. So you went through a messy divorce.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, that was a few years before I met you.
Yeah.
That's kind of really what led into all this. And your videos, they're small, but they make such a big impact.
Thank you. I appreciate it, bro.
Because, like you said, for a lot of us, for me, like I put everything, like most of us do, when we go to get married, we want it to last forever, and we give everything to it. Every fiber, every being that we have, we put into that and building that life. And and that's what I had achieved, and we got there. And things happen, people change. My ex-wife, she's a wonderful person, she really is. And things happen. So unfortunately it ended, but with that, so did everything I thought was forever and that I had worked so hard to achieve. Put everything into it, and I ended up losing everything coming out of it. I lost my house, my dogs, my
your kids.
my kids,
Your kids. Yeah.
My time, because that was my favorite thing. I always explain it like, even after a long day, the chaos that you walk into as a dad, and it's just the noise when you open the front door.
Yeah.
It's like that's why you do everything you do, and you work so hard. So it's like losing that and living in a quiet apartment, going from a house to an apartment.
I say it all the time, dude. I tell people all the time, I think the hardest part about being a dad, when you go through a divorce and when you lose, the custody of your kids, you come down to a visitation every other weekend, it's the silence. It's the silence, bro, right? It's
Absolutely.
deafening. It's fucking deafening, bro. I don't think people really understand that. Like we talked about this last week
Yeah.
about how parents who have their kids all the time, You know, they always think about the opportunity to get away. Oh, I can't wait to get away. I can't get away, right? Where we're the exact opposite, right? Like we're like, when are we going to spend time? Like, when are we doing stuff together? Like
that time, it's like you said, it's every other weekend and it's 48 hours.
Yeah, if you're lucky.
You
Sometimes
know?
it's 32.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Freaking yeah. No, it's you know, I think that's so when people talk about, you know, like oh, you know, we talk about the whole, you know, the suicide thing and everything else we talked about, right? When we talk about people hurting themselves, you know, there was a lot. We posted that video, you know, we thought the guy was talking about it, and everybody's like, oh, women don't have a choice. You know, they have to stay here for the kids. Well, that's part of the problem. You know, the problem is that we don't feel like we're needed. You know, we're not like the moment the kids are taken from us and everything's changed. We're like, you know, it's like we feel like, you know, that we're not needed for them anymore. They're almost better off without us as the thought process comes into your head, because everything you imagined, everything you dreamed is now not a reality. You know, and you're sitting in your house by yourself in silence. You know, and then that's where the demons come and talk, right?
Yeah.
So let's get into that. Freaking so after your divorce and everything that happened to you, you lost your house, you lost your dog, you know, you became, you know, an every other weekend father, which you didn't see happening, right?
Yeah.
How did you handle it?
So I dove really hard into work as you know, it's something to kind of take my focus off. But you know, like most of us do, you know, maybe not most of us, but you know, what I did is in my evenings, you know, I came home, I drank, you know, in my evenings to fill my time, you know, quiet your mind, you know, whatever, it helps you go to bed.
Yeah.
And, you know, you think it helps, and it does. And it's short-lived time, but you know, in the long run, it's, you know, it hurt, but you know, you didn't have a choice but to keep going. Right. There's so many times in that period where it's so much easier to just roll over and be done.
Yeah.
But then what happens after that? You know, who benefits from you doing that?
Yeah.
And it's no matter what happens, it's you have that choice to make. And it's a difficult one to make. It's you really have to, it's survival.
Yeah.
Is what it is. It's, you have to do what you need to do to survive. And that's almost what I did. And it's like, I joke about it a lot with my friends and some of my family. It's like, I have this mode I call robot mode, right? Like you just put yourself on autopilot.
Yeah, you just go.
You wake up in the morning, you go to the gym, you go to work, you come home, you have your drinks, it's just whatever you can do just to survive.
Just to make it through the fucking day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think enough people talk about, and I know we experience it. So we know the part where people, you don't even, and I'm sure a little bit maybe in your situation the same, was we didn't get a choice. You know, it's like when court came, it was like, no, you don't get any of that stuff. There was no discussion about it. Like kids nope, house nope. And then to your point, like that feeling that I don't think people understand unless you've gone through it, of you go from the home to the apartment and then it's quiet. And then we talk about this all the time. Any divorced dad knows this. The happiest day, the only 2 days of the entire month where you have a smile on your face is the drive to pick up your kid on Friday.
Yep.
And then you die every Sunday on the way home.
Yeah.
And your point, that silence and that emptiness is just, you go from being needed and being wanted and feel like you've worked really hard for this. And then one day someone comes, nope, not anymore. And it's so quick, right?
Yep.
Yeah. It's a hard adjustment, right?
Absolutely. And you know, it's those short periods of time that you live for, that keep pushing you forward. And, you know, the hardest part, I think, going through it is, you know, I know for myself, like I didn't talk to anybody. Like, even though I would go out, when I go out, like if you meet me out in public, like I got a smile on my face, you know, we're going to have a normal conversation. You ask me how life is. Life's fantastic, right? It's wonderful. But inside it's, you know, and there were points as recent about a year ago where it got so bad that I was at another point where it was like I was just praying to be done. Like I just want to go to bed. I want to be done. Like I think I've led a good life. Like I've really done a good job for my kids. Everything else,
You were ready to die.
Yeah, it was. It was at that point. And I talked to a couple people about it. Very, very few.
Yeah.
But again, I guess it's like those people, and you know, even though they don't think they did a lot.
They do a lot,
Yeah.
right?
So
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, I was saying that earlier. I was saying that to a friend of mine earlier. That it's pretty fucking amazing that you think just one small interaction that you just don't really pay attention to, that you don't think is a lot, it can make such a huge impact in somebody's life.
that's what I said. Just like, and so that was the thing with your videos.
Yeah.
Like, it's a struggle, and just little things like that.
Yeah.
And then I meet you, and we've hung out, me, you, and your son, and my son, and it's crazy where life takes you.
Yeah.
So you keep pushing through that, and I mean, just getting to that point, I felt like I had zero responsibility.
Yeah.
Anymore.
Well, yeah, because it was taken from you.
Yeah.
Right. It was taken from you. You were told. It almost feels like you were told you were not good enough. Right. That's what it feels like. Like, oh shit.
Man down.
Man down.
Yeah.
No, but it feels like you're not. It feels like you're not good enough. Right. You're not good enough. Like you weren't good enough to make the marriage work. You weren't good enough to be an everyday father. That was all taken from you. And it's not just the divorce that does that. The court system makes you feel that way also. Like, I'm sorry, but fucking every single court. Oh, thank you. Every single person I dealt with in that court frame was fucking so mean and so non-emotional when dealing with the male at all. Like every time I went to the court and I dealt with something, I felt like I was the enemy. Like it didn't matter who I talked to. Like, the only one that had my back was the lawyer, and even then it was only because I was paying him. You know what I mean? Like, fucking, you know what I mean? So you feel like you're alone. You really do. You feel like you're alone when you're going through it all, right? And you feel like the world's set up against you. You're like fucking, because you hear all these horror stories of what men have gone through divorces, where they've gone through just to be able to see their kids, and they're not bullshit. They're real. Like they're real horror stories, and those thoughts come into your mind. What am I fighting for? I know for me, and this is why we relate on so many levels. I know for me, like I thought the same thing. I thought my kids would be better off without me. What am I doing? Just being a burden to them. They could probably do better off and blah, 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 blah. And then you learn.
Yeah.
And you learn, what'd you learn about it? That you were wrong.
Yeah.
100% wrong, right?
Yeah.
I mean, where are you at now?
Fast forward about a year and a half, and my daughter has some medical conditions, so she's been going through some difficult stuff. And thankfully, is doing better now. But that, there was a particular thing that happened, to where it gave me and her a chance to talk like we never have. Like my daughter's 15. Like I don't know how to I don't talk to regular people, let alone so talking to a 15-year-old girl isn't one of my strongest things. But it really gave me and her a chance to connect. I could be honest with her, and I shared for the first time like a lot of this kind of stuff because she was dealing with a lot of mental health stuff directly related to her illness.
Yeah.
But it gave me, I was at a point to where I was able to be there and to listen, and it was just the opening. Like the door was just cracked. Yeah. And it was like I was able to kick it open.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Yeah. And
so my question for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, let you finish.
Yeah.
I'll let you finish. Go ahead and finish. Yeah. And if you can, but I got a question. Go ahead and finish.
No, and but that moment is like I mentioned earlier, like I drank for a while.
Yeah.
And that moment was like that. I had been tired of it. I knew it wasn't doing anything anymore. And that was the moment to where I was just like,
I have to.
Yeah, I'm done with it. Yeah. Because if she was, the conversation led up to her wanting to stay with me, almost full time.
Yeah, right.
So
what's to say with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can say it loud and say it proud, bro.
Yeah.
Say it loud and say it proud. Where's the fucking service over here?
Yeah. So which is, it's obviously something I've wanted for 15 years,
right?
Almost.
Yeah.
And so it finally happened. So I was like, if I'm gonna do that, like now I gotta adjust my schedule. I gotta be at the gym at 4 so I can get home, make her breakfast, get her ready to do school, everything. And I can't drink and do that.
Yeah.
And it was like, so if I'm really gonna be there. So that was, I don't know, 3-4 months ago now.
Sober?
Yeah.
Yeah. 3 months sober? How fucking cool is that?
Yeah, it's pretty, it's pretty wild.
Fucking proud of you, bro. Yeah,
so,
proud of you, bro.
Man,
give it a shout. Fucking proud of you, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking proud of you, because I know how hard you were drinking. I used to get on his shit all the time, bro. I used to get on his shit all the time. I'd see him. I'm like, yo, man. And I was like, how was your night? And he'd be like, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Now I do want to bring up one key thing here.
Yeah.
Do you remember what I told you a year ago about how if you prepare your life as if it's going to happen? Do you remember we had that conversation?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to tell everybody about that? Because I think that's what really helped, right?
I mean, you can I don't know if you maybe want to kind of start me back into it.
So me and Dominic had a conversation about, how we've been through the same thing, right? We've both been through the same thing, and we both turned down. We both had to fight our own demons, blah, blah, blah. And I told Dominic like a year ago, I was like, the thing you have to do, man, I remember telling you this right in front of the dumbbells. The thing you have to do, bro, is you have to work as it's going to happen. You have to prepare your life as if your kids are going to come and live with you.
Yeah.
You have to work as that's going to happen, that you're going to work your ass off to be the father that your kids need. So the moment that it happens, they want to live with you, there's no question it's going to happen. And I told him that. And he got a better job.
I did.
And he got a better job. Fucking his whole life changed, and fucking he's doing it. Like, you're fucking doing it, bro.
Yeah. It's pretty wild because, I mean, now it's so much different. So like you said, like you couldn't have put it better. Like, you really have to set up your life like it's gonna happen, so that one day when it does, I think I may have said something to you about it. I was sitting outside one day and I was just thinking like about my kids, and it's like a lot of times like we feel like you said like they don't need us.
Yeah.
But it's not that they don't need us. It's maybe in this moment we feel like they don't need us, but one day they will.
100%.
And like you say, if you're ready for when they do need you, then it's game on.
It's game on.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
It's game on. When did you get divorced? You want me to ask? How old were the kids?
So my daughter was from a previous relationship. Okay. I got divorced. It's going on 6 years now. So my son will be 10 in November. I want to say he's probably like 2 or 3.
Yeah. I remember that. I remember the same thing because so Tyler was about 1 or 2. Like, it's so long ago, but we talk about it all the time. Like that when I had the loneliness and that empty time, that's when I got into fitness. And then I started doing small things thinking that one day he would live with me. I bought a Canon camera off QVC, and I did one of those flex pays because I couldn't afford it. And someone was like, why you got a camera? And I said, because I was like, I always want good pictures of him, because one day when he's older, I'm going to be like, hey, I was around, right? And then I started learning to cook, because when he came home, I didn't want to run out to a restaurant. Like, I wanted to spend time with him. And it was 14 years later. And then finally he was here one day and he goes, can I talk to you? And I was like, yeah, man, what's going on? He said, I want to live here. And I still can't, like, and my wife, when I first met her, she would always ask me, like, early on, like, why do you give so much grace? Why do you work so? What are you doing? And I'm like, he's going to live with us. I'm like, it's the only thing that keeps me going. It's the thing that keeps me going.
It really is.
Yeah. And when it happens, to your point, and I'm so glad you said it, because it happened in my life. When he came and lived with me, and thank you to my wife too, who pushed me, the better job, the home, like all of a sudden it was like, oh, I have these things I've worked so hard for. And it just changes your whole perspective on it.
Yeah. And I mean, even throughout that whole process, it like getting the better job, and I finally got the house at the beach, and you've done all these things, and like you said, now the last few weekends my daughter brings her best friend, so I don't only have my daughter, but now I get to see her. It's almost like a completely different person.
Yeah.
Right. She's 100% herself with her friend, with my son, just being who she really is.
Yeah.
And none of this would have been possible, and it never would have happened.
Yeah.
Unless
what?
Unless you keep going.
Unless you make that change, right? You make that choice, right? Unless you make that choice, right? Yeah. You created that safe place. You created that safe environment. You made that happen, bro. Like, like, I can't say this enough. Like, freaking, it's so funny because we give so much power over to titles and things and environment that we forget that you literally have the ability to create the world you want to live in, man, by just here's the thing. Like, say it would have never happened for any of us, right?
Yeah.
Say none of our kids would have said, I want to live with my dad, and they didn't move in with us, right? Say none of it happened. Our lives, financially, mentally, physically, because we did the work, still would have been better for eventually when they wanted to be with us. And they would have been like, oh, I wonder what it would have been like to live with dad. And see that dad's doing healthy and good and stuff, right? That dad's being this productive human being, that he's being this positive role model, that he's doing all this stuff. So it was like there wasn't a downside to working on it, right? There wasn't a downside to working with you. The option was death, or I survive and I do so well that I create this safe environment that eventually my kids want to, they can. Yep. And if they do, they prosper from the safe environment that we created. Right now, that's something I can't tell you how proud I am of you, Dominic. Like, I'm really proud of you, bro. I know the struggle you're going through. Like, I've been there, right? Like, we've all been there, right? We've all been in the same spot. Yep. You know what I mean? And I know, dude. Those thoughts were deep in your head, and that's why when we first met, and you shared with me, you know, from every day. I can't say there wasn't a day that when I saw you, I didn't make sure I said hi to you. Yeah. And I didn't ask you how you were doing. It's you making sure you were all right. You know what I mean?
It's one thing I can say for a fact that you were. It was huge, man. You know, like you say, you don't know how little or how much of an impact those small little gestures have to people. And you may not even know just one comment.
Yeah, I love it, dude.
You guys, it's funny because you guys are going. Both of you are going. You just said it like last week, which is so funny. You said it, and then I've experienced because my son's lived me for a little longer. But you were like, me and you were talking last week, and you said Avery's at his friend's house now, and and he
was there today.
And he was just talking about now how, you know, because Avery's been with you for what, about a year or so, right?
It'll be a year in September.
So and then now we were talking about, I was like, what's going on? He goes, Avery's at his friend's house, and then that the friends come in, and then you're seeing it, and then Tyler, he's lived here for 4 years, and we're at and he knows this. We're at graduation, and the boys come in and out of the house all the time. And they all call me Papa Rod. And I pay attention to it, but, you know, it kind of comes in and out. I never know how many kids I've met. And at graduation, they get done doing all their photos. And my son's finally by himself with nothing to do. I go, hey, can we just get a quick, family photo, whatever? And he goes, no, hold on. And he yells out Papa Rod across the yard. And there's 20 boys, 20 girls, and a bunch of parents I never met. And all the boys like, we got a photo op of Papa Rod. And I have all these photos of these boys who've come in and out of this house and have sat down here and talked to us. And I've watched them say love you to each other and hang out. And I can only imagine my parents like, who the fuck is this guy? Yeah. But for me, it's all I dreamt about for years was like that I would build this place where not only he would feel comfortable to live, but then he would have a good life and he would make good friends. And then to see those things come to fruition, I still can't. It doesn't even I still can't think about. But I talk to you and him and me all have experiences, and it's so important. You have to just keep going.
Because that was one of the things when I did lose everything. Like you really think that's it. Yeah. Like you're not gonna get what you had back, and it's true in a sense. You're just not getting that version back. You're getting a better version.
That's it right there. You Dominic, what you said right there was the nail in the fucking head. It's funny you say that because that was one of the things that got told by me by Hillbilly Harry. Yeah. In Grand Canyon, Pennsylvania. That's what he told me. You know, I said when I met this fucking hillbilly in the middle of fucking nowhere, bro, freaking, you know what I mean? I thought he was gonna hack me up and eat my dog. Freaking, I meet this guy, and he lost his wife and his son Christopher, who was 7, in a car accident, right? And he was an Air Force pilot, and he had brain damage, so he couldn't fly anymore from the accident, right? So he lost everything, and he built this log cabin up in the mountains, and I forget the name of it. It starts with a P. In Pennsylvania. It's on the west side of Pennsylvania by Pennsylvania Grand Canyon. And he built a cabin there because he ran away from the society for like 16 years. And I told him while I was there. I was like, I lost all my family and freaking, I don't know what I'm going to do. I spent 2 years trying to get my wife back and my kid back, and I lost it all anyway. Everything I thought I learned didn't work. Yeah. Right? Everything I thought I learned, I learned on that trip for 6 months and all 68,000 miles. Everything I thought I learned was going to fix everything for me and the perspective I thought I wanted it to be, right? And then it didn't work, and I was like, "Fuck!" So it was all bullshit. This whole manifesting, this whole thinking positive, it was all bullshit, right? Is what I thought. And then the guy looked at me and he goes, and I asked him what brought me there. Would have asked me, how do you know I wasn't a serial killer? I was going to take care of you, you know what I mean? And he goes, I asked myself the same question, and he said the same thing you just did, Dominic. He said, and I understand. He goes, your family might. your family might not be how you wanted it to be, but they're still here, and you get to fight for them every day. I don't get that chance. I was like, wow, man. Phew. I was like, so it's me. I was like, yeah, dude, you know what? You're fucking right, man. It might not be how we wanted it to be, right? The white picket fence, the 2 cars, the dog, the whole 9, right? It might not be how we want it to be. And then that's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean we stop fighting for how we wanted to be there in their lives, right? It doesn't mean we give up. It doesn't mean we don't matter. It doesn't mean that we don't have a voice and that what we do, it doesn't make a difference. It's the exact opposite. We just have to change our perspective of what family is to us, right? Like, what is family now? Family is now what? Being there.
Yeah.
Right? Just being there, being omnipresent in the moment for your kids, and then creating that safe place for when you do have them, that they want to be there. And you're a champion of that, Dominic. So are you, Tony. Champions.
We're all champions. So in your if you could and all of us have gone through this, and obviously you being a podcast entrepreneur that you are all over the world, from show to show that you go to, Dominic.
Yeah, my schedule's very busy.
I'm glad you cut some time out for us. We appreciate you, bro. What would you tell somebody that's out there that's watching this right now, that's where you're at, where you were, and especially because the drinking part's a big part of it, right? Like going through those, that's a demon I didn't have to deal with. I dealt with other ones, but that's one a lot of people deal with. What would you tell people about how you went from there to the things that they can do to keep moving?
Okay, I think kind of how I thought of it was I was a very highly functioning drinker. Right. And that's how we all justify it in our head. It's like, yeah, I'm still doing everything I need to do.
Still paying my bills, still going to work all the time.
But it, it really clouds everything and it holds you back from your full potential. And I don't know if I could say exactly like how, like I came to that. It was mind over matter. It was, again, the survival part of it of, I can keep going down this road but I am doing better and I am making improvements, but I'm going to start regressing if I don't get a handle on everything. And if I don't stop drinking and focus on what's most important in my life. And I think that was the biggest push for me was that it's either this or it is giving up again. Yeah. And that wasn't an option. Like, quitting has never been an option, and to come so far and to have it right there, and that was the final thing.
Was it easy?
No, it's absolutely the furthest thing from it. None of this is easy by any means. Even today, this is not fucking easy.
That's my other question, to say, right?
It's not fucking easy. But my question is, it's not easy at all. But is it fucking worth it?
100%.
100%, right?
Absolutely.
100% worth it, right?
I couldn't imagine. Like I'm still almost in disbelief at this situation, because it was it's just a beginning for me of this, and it's only going to get better from here. And
you see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah,
and it's huge.
It is, and you can't let that blind you. Like, things are going to happen again, and it's just now. I think I know I have the tools. I have the ability to do what I need to do and find the resources to keep moving forward and to keep growing and being there. And now I get to see this relationship with my kids. Yeah. So, and actually have one. I feel like for like the first time. So
I fucking love that, bro. I fucking love that. So before we move on to the top.
Yep.
What is one thing you would say, Dominic, to somebody that's going through what you're going through or what you have gone through? What is one word of advice you would give to them and your kids?
And you got to go right. And you got to go right to the camera.
All right. You talk right to that camera. So one thing of advice you would give to somebody and something that you would say to your kids that are watching so that they have this advice too. No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. No pressure. I guess what I would say is that, you really do have the ability to, especially for all the guys out there, like what we go through and what we try to do, it's a lot of pressure, and it is possible. And the couple people that you have in your life, like share with them. That was one of the things I didn't do.
Yeah.
Is to I think that's what we most do is we try to handle everything on our own. And it was really the couple people in my life that helped me the most, and they didn't even know they were helping.
Yeah.
So, and for my kids, I love you guys to death, right? This is for you guys, and it always will be.
Right on, bro.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love that, Tom.
look at
I love that, bro.
Look at that. You're a podcast pro now, bro. Look at
That was perfect, dude. That was perfect. Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, man. You're welcome for the kick in the assholes last year.
Yeah.
Yes.
So-
I appreciate it.
Nah, dude, that was good, man. That was good, dude. All right.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna switch out of Tom. You're gonna come back in a couple minutes. So, oh, hey.
Don't go anywhere, right? Stay to the end, right?
Good job.
That was good shit, bro.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Don't go anywhere.
Don't
Fuck
go
you.
anywhere.
Yeah, don't go anywhere. We're bringing you back on, bro.
Come on, Tom. Come on, Tom. Come on,
You're up,
Tom. All right, no pressure,
That was
Tom.
good, dude.
This is fucking
That's a
amazing.
hard fall up here. I'm
That's
just kidding.
Where'd Tom go?
Where's Tom? Where's Tom?
Let's
There's
go.
Tom
Look at
Hicks,
Look at
everybody.
Dapper. Look at you.
Look at this stud.
Look at
this
this
fucking
stud.
handsome
Look at it.
man
Look at
right
that.
here. Look at this guy.
All
Fucking
right.
love it.
All right, Tom. So first of all, how did we? I know you actually met Tom.
All right, so
that's how we met him.
we met at the view party.
Yes.
Right at that Mike Situations view party. I was invited. You were invited. Tom works for Bentley.
Yes, I do.
Shout
Shout out Bentley. Shout out Bentley.
Bentley and Edison. You know, give a shout out to Kurt. Our buddy Kurt. Give a shout out to him and Stacy and everybody over there. Love you guys. But yeah, so we met at the thing. We were talking. Kurt's wife recognized me and pulled me over, and we all started talking. And then Tom recognized me too. Tom recognized me at the door. Yeah, it was funny too because I was walking out with a Lexus to go see where Mike was at. I think Mike was pulling up, and Tom saw me, and he was like, "Oh," and I was like, "What?" And I thought maybe I knew him from the gym, and he recognized me from social media. He's like, "I can't believe I was meeting you." And Tom was really excited. He asked for a picture, so then we started talking, and he told me how he's a vet, and about his relationship with his kids, and his weight loss journey, his fitness journey. And once I heard about all that, I was like, "Fuck, man, we got a Father's Day episode coming up.
Yeah,
you know, why don't we get Tom on to talk about one his experiences of that if he wants, and what he's going through for the PTSD that he suffered through that. Two, overcoming drinking. Also, you were drinking there for a little bit, right? And talk about the battle through that, and then most importantly, the biggest battle was with his son. You know, pointing out his physical health and how that changed his life. I mean, let's about that first. Tom, how heavy were you?
266 pounds.
And you're how tall?
5'9".
5'9". So he was 266 pounds at 5'9", right?
I held it well.
He held it well. He held it well. That's a big boy. You were a big boy, right? So what got you on your fitness journey?
Yeah, so it's actually funny. My wife and I, we left Manalapan about 8 years ago, and we moved up to upstate New York for a job. And, you know, I guess I kind of lost sight of the big picture, and I was just focusing on climbing the proverbial, you know, corporate ladder, right? It was consuming me. I needed to have the big house. I needed to have the nice cars, all these things. And you forget about everything else, which is the most important things is your health, right?
Yeah.
So I'll never forget it. I was sitting in my kitchen one day. I was wearing a green sweater, and my son walked up to me, and he kind of like, he pushes on my belly, and he goes, "Daddy, what's this?"
Out of the mouth of babes is what they say, right?
I was like, "Oh no, I gotta make a change here." And I started slowly getting into, you know, fitness and trying to do better. And, you know, long story short, it's been,
there you go. There's your wife right
There's
there.
your wife right there.
There she is.
so long story short, it's been probably about a year and a couple months, and I weigh 194 pounds. I'm in the gym all the time.
Yeah.
You know, I eat right. I'm trying to do everything right. So.
Yeah. No, you do it. That's amazing, bro.
Wow.
Over 100 pounds like that. That's crazy, bro. That's freaking a good amount of weight, man. In a year, that's healthy. That's the best way to go, dude.
Yeah.
That's the best way to go. So you were in the service, correct?
Yeah, I was in the Army for almost 8 years. I was an infantryman. I was with 2nd Battalion, 4th Infantry Regiment out of Fort Polk, Louisiana.
Okay. All right. So it's 8 years?
Yeah, about 8 years.
Yeah. So you suffered a little PTSD from that?
Yeah. So I had the fun mission of having to go to Afghanistan, being voluntold, if you would, that I had to go to Afghanistan. And I didn't know what that entailed. I mean, I knew what it entailed. I mean, I spent years training for it. But everything, you know, you see in the movies and everything people tell you, none of it's true until you actually get there.
Oh, yeah.
And yes. So yeah, I went over to Afghanistan as an infantryman and had to do.
Just pull the mic a little closer to you.
Yeah, no problem.
You're good, yeah.
So when you came back, right? When you came back, you followed yourself. You took a little bit of a dark turn, correct?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So
Well, your beginning was dark. And I
Yeah,
know a
yeah.
little bit about you. So let's see. As a child, you're left behind by your mother. Your father went to prison at 10.
Yeah.
So you really got off to a rough start.
Yeah. So rewind. So at 3 years old, I believe I was 3. I mean, my father might be able to help out there, but I think I was 3 years old, and my mother left me, and she took my sister, and I don't know, for whatever reason, you know, I got left behind. I've never so much as gotten a birthday card or a hello, how you doing? Nothing since then. I think I'll be 37 this year.
So you never even met your mom since the age of 3?
No, never. I've had one conversation with her, and it was because I reached out to her right before I went to Afghanistan, because, you know, before you go to Afghanistan, especially in the MOS that I was, the military occupational specialty, you have to prepare for what might happen.
Oh, yeah.
Right. You know, I was an infantryman, so there was a possibility that something bad could happen.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to cross that off my list. Like, hey, I spoke to
yeah.
my mother, and it wasn't a pleasant conversation. You know, all she did was down talk my father the whole time. And I found out within the first 5 minutes, like, you know, my dad might be all these things. He might have done all these bad things, or maybe, I don't know. I was 3 years old, but I know what he is to me.
Yeah.
And, you know, so I didn't like that conversation or where it went, right? So kind of just moved on from that. So yeah, that happened. And then, you know, there were a couple good years before my father started getting in trouble with the law. It was about 9 years of living good. You know, my dad is he's a classically trained French chef. He graduated from the Culinary Institute of America. It's a long time ago. And he's worked at some of the best restaurants in the United States. So he's a very talented individual, but that business, from what I understand, brings a lot of pressure on people. You know, it's long hours. A lot of those guys do drugs.
100%.
And it doesn't matter if you're working in the best restaurant.
I worked in the restaurant business for 17 years, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody does drugs. From the cook to the bartender to the fucking bouncer to all of them. They're popping pills. They're doing lines in the bathroom. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I think he fell into that around the time, probably a little bit before I was 10 years old. He started falling into that. And I saw things growing up that probably not every young child sees. But I'll never forget it. I was coming home. I was leaving school one day, and we were friendly with my bus driver. And I remember her name was Ruth. I'll never forget her. And she said, "Thomas, you're getting on my bus today." I was like, "Okay, what's going on?" And right there, I knew something's going on. And I get on the bus. I go to sit in the back. She goes, No, I want you to sit next to me. And the first words out of my mouth were, what did my dad do? Because I'd known. You know, I knew something was off. And she wouldn't tell me anything. And then later that night, my Aunt Marie flew down from New York. We were living in Florida at the time. And my aunt flew down from New York, and she picked me up. And that's when I found out, you know, your dad went to prison. So I never lived with my father again since then.
Really? How old were you?
I was 10
years old,
somewhere along there. It's been a long time.
Yeah. Is your dad still there, or is he out?
No, my father got out, and he had many, many good years. And he recently had a run-in with the law again. So yes, he is back in prison again.
Really?
I guess everyone's got to go through their own demons, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. That's crazy, man. That's a hard. So you live with your aunt?
I kind of bounced around. Yeah. So first I went to my Aunt Marie's house. She's the one that came to pick me up, and I wanted a change of pace, if you will. So that was in New York, and I came home to Manalapan shortly thereafter. And then I wanted to change of pace again. You know, I was a young teenager now, and I'm like, man, I want to go back to New York. So I went back to New York, and when I was 17, 18 years old, I joined the military, and it was
right from there, huh?
Yeah.
How did you meet your wife?
So I have known my wife. I just want to point out real quick, is when I mentioned his wife, the big smile on his face. Yeah. I have to admit. So being there, right? So being there, you and your wife, amazing. Kurt and his wife, amazing. Out of everybody we met there, we met some amazing people there.
but we were all talking about you four. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you guys are a beautiful couple, and you can see the love in your child. Like, both, like, you can tell your wife adores you, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you guys meet?
So I met my wife, I think I was 14 years old. It was freshman year of high school.
No shit.
Wow.
You guys known each other that long?
Yes. I've
That's
known her more than half my
crazy.
life. It was freshman year of high school, and I just thought she was gorgeous. I was like, oh my God, who is this person?
Yeah.
I need to meet her. And I'll never forget, I think she'll correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I walked up to her her locker in high school, and I was like, what's up? Like, can I get your like,
how you doing? Man?
How you doing?
Let me get your number. And it didn't work out. This was the time where like cell phones first came out, maybe.
Yeah.
And she's like, what? So anyways, we went on our first date together. My first date I ever been on. I think it was hers as well. And I believe I took her to go see Poseidon. But I was a young boy. I'm like 14. I'm petrified of this beautiful, at the time, I'm saying woman, but at the time, young woman. And I'm petrified. I'm like, oh my God, what do I like? Do I put my arm around her? What am I supposed to do? So I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And she ended up dating somebody else. And, we went our own separate ways. But after the military, we reconnected, and I'm very glad we did.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, we talked about that. Freaking how you can see the love in your guy's face.
Yeah.
I mean, the way your wife really adores you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can tell, dude. That's a gift right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's an amazing thing.
When I met you guys, the thing that I was taken to you and your wife immediately, because you guys remind me of me and my wife, because the way that you guys speak about each other, both of you in the same conversation, just because you love each other so much, kept giving the other person credit.
Yeah.
And I talk about it with my wife all the time. And our relationship is probably a little bit reversed on like what yours and your wife is. We talked about it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And but there's no way, like, we're such a team. There's not we've had our moments where she'll be like, well, I don't know why you're still here. Why do you stay? And I'm like, I don't know how any else to be. I wouldn't be anybody without you either. But you guys, to me, you're one of the few couples I've ever walked away with and been like, they're such a team that like I just admire, to your point, the way they looked at each other, the way you guys talked about each other. It's so rare, but it's just
your wife made sure that me and you connected.
She was beautiful.
She was like, she saw how happy you were to get to know me, and she's like, she made sure before you guys left, she's like, let me get your number. He doesn't have his phone. We can make sure we connected. I was like, that's a good woman right there.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Looking out for her man, bro.
Yeah.
So my wife is she is the reason why I'm at where I'm at today. She had the opportunity to reconnect with me after the military, and my family can attest to this. Those were some dark times for me after the military. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where I was going to go in life. And just from the moment of meeting her and hanging out on that first night, I was like, man, I've got to do something with my life. I got to figure this out because, I want to become successful. How am I going to do that? Well, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I've got to keep this woman. Like, I'm not losing this, right?
Yeah.
So I figured it out, and I put my head down, and I just went to work, and I to this day, I'm grinding as hard as I can on whatever it is, right? And she's my support. She's the reason. She's my reason why, along with my children, Ava, Zoe, and Dominic. Everything I do is for them.
How old are your kids?
9, 7, and 3.
Good ages, bro.
So I'm exhausted all the time.
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet.
But I still wake up, 5 a.m., try to get to the gym as early as possible. And, I do it with the love and support of my family.
So when you were going through that dark time, would you say it was meeting your wife that made you change?
100%.
100%. Yeah. So and I know it's love, right? I know it's love, but I want to get to the real motivation, right? You had to find a why, right? So if you felt as though you didn't meet your wife, do you think you would have stayed on that dark path?
Probably.
Yeah.
Maybe some things would have changed, but I was drinking a lot.
Yeah.
I was going out, and I was hanging out with people that I shouldn't say they weren't good people. I don't like speaking like that, but they were going down bad paths.
Well, they had the best
themselves.
interest at heart for you. Right?
Yeah. So I wouldn't say that I definitely wouldn't be where I am today if we didn't meet. I would have been I wouldn't have cared, right?
So how if you had somebody sit in your shoes, right? If you had somebody sitting there right now who didn't have that why, didn't have that person, what would you tell them? to get them
So
out of that
you
dark
got
place.
you got to figure out what your why is. Whether
Yeah.
it's is it something that's monetary? Is it just you? Like what is your why? And then once you figure out what that why is, you can't quit. And I'll give you a quick little story. So when I was in Afghanistan, and this is one of the most important things I've ever learned about myself or human beings in general. I was in Afghanistan, and I don't know, for those of you that don't know, it's part of the Hindu Kush mountain range. So it's 14,000 feet above sea level. And I was a light infantryman, meaning I walked everywhere with like 100 pounds of gear on me. So it was shortly after I got there. My body wasn't acclimated to the weather or the altitude. And I just remember we're walking for clicks and clicks and clicks. And I mean, it must have been miles up and down, up and down. And my body started giving up on me. My legs weren't working, and I was crying. I was in so much pain that I was crying. But I kept telling myself, if you quit, someone is going to die. So I didn't quit, and I just kept going. And eventually the pain just went away because I kept telling myself, you could do it, you could do it, you could do it, you could do it. So what I'm trying to tell everyone out there is if you work your butt off, I'm not going to curse, if you work your butt off and
you show you're on.
Yeah.
We appreciate you not, for sure, but
If you work your ass off, as you're trying to say. No, I'm just kidding. Go
if
ahead,
you work your ass off and you actually believe it, the mind is more powerful than the body ever will be. And so what I'm getting to is, that's the advice I can give to people. Just keep showing up, keep being consistent, keep working out, have the discipline, have no gaps in what you're doing throughout the day. Because the gaps is when, I don't know if there's religious people out there, but that's when the quote unquote devil is going to come, when those gaps are there, and he's going to try to tempt you to do something else. So I limit the amount of gaps that there are. And my day is the same every day. Wake up, help with the kids, go to work, come home. Or if it's a gym day, wake up, go to the gym, go to work, come home. And that's all I do.
Nice.
So
I love that.
yeah, I remember.
I love that.
I remember when
Shut the
when I got divorced, I was 243 pounds, and it was like I'd never been that big, nor did I even know. Didn't no idea. I just always thought I was fit until someone. I thought I was just strong. I was like, wow, look at me. And then someone showed me a picture on a karaoke mic in a house party, and I was like, what am I doing? And so my son at the time was taken from me. The police call it kidnapping, but we won't talk anymore about that. But so I had time, and I remember I went to Boscov's, which is like, for anyone who doesn't know, Boscov's is like it's like 2 levels down from a Macy's, but 1 above a Marshall's. It's like I could get running shoes there for like $15, and I just started running every day. And about eight-ish months later, I have the picture still. Actually, it's in the drawer down here. It's the day I lost 60 pounds, and I came in at like 183, and it was the day that I got to see Tyler for the first time in like months. And the court kept telling me that I had no right to, I had to file charges, and otherwise I couldn't see him. So the only thing I had to do was focus on like trying to lose weight and make myself a little better. And I have this picture hugging him in the kitchen, and I have the picture side by side, and it looks like it's just 2 different people. It's crazy. You talk a lot about this, and we talked about this, and I don't even think people realize how devastating it is, as much as I do. My wife does. I'm sure you and your wife do. The corporate America piece drives you into the ground, right? And I've witnessed it firsthand in my family's life. Can you talk a little bit about like that?
Yeah. So first of all, growing up, for lack of a better term, poor, I had a very rough upbringing. So growing up without all the things that I saw my friends have, and all the things that I saw the people in the community have, when I got the opportunity to work and work hard, I took full advantage of that. And we're taught our whole lives, go to work, or go to school, get a degree, get a great job, make all this money, do all this. It's all bullshit. It's complete bullshit. What's most important, and I can tell you that because I worked, my butt off. I had the big house, I had the nice cars. I was going into stores and just telling my wife, pick out the Louis Vuitton, because I thought that's what it was all about, right? It just, hey, babe, just pick one out, and we'll be out of here. Yeah. And I learned really quickly, I was getting burned out, and I was forgetting about the most important things, which is my health. Right? Corporate America is no joke. You put a lot of time and effort in. When people are paying you X amount of dollars, they're going to get, for lack of a better term, they're going to get their 6 pounds of flesh.
Fuck yeah.
One way or another, and they're probably going to take it in the form of
and
making you work.
And you're just a number, bro.
That's all you are.
That's all you're just a number. And if you aren't hitting that number, then you're fucking gone.
Exactly.
Yeah, dude. No, I agree, man. Yeah, no, forget it. It's funny how they do that, right? Especially as us as men. I think it's one of the things that we struggle with a lot, right? We think that we have to provide everything, right? We have to provide all this stuff, the Louis Vuitton, the fucking nice car, and all this stuff. And at the end of the day, you have none of that if you don't have your health.
Agreed.
You know, and it's funny because we talked about this the other day. I went to some event when I was at, and all these women were there, right? They were all there, and they got all this work done. You know, all this work done. You know, eyelashes, boobs, lips, the bag, the shoes, the butt lifts, the whole nine, right? And I'm listening to them talk, and I'm like, wow, man. I'm like, they got all this work done, man, and they're all miserable. They're all unhappy. And I'm like, you know why? So you get all this done here, but you never did any of the work in here.
100%.
Like you never did it. Like that's why you see these people that are really like multimillionaires who are unhappy, or these actors like that guy, the guy from Nerds. You see the guy from Nerds, the lead actor from the movie Nerds, hung himself.
Wow.
Freaking, freaking, and that guy was like, he was one of the commodity. He's like Robin Williams. And you never see this stuff happening on the level because you just people just don't talk about it, right? And they think that freaking that the corporate thing's the way to go. And at the end of the day, you have to do the work on yourself. And we're living proof of all that. I mean, all of us sitting here are living proof of that. Like we're all proof that if you do the work on you, everybody you love, everybody, and people you don't even know benefit from you doing that work on yourself. You know?
There's a statistic, and I think it's 6 or 8 times as high, but people who are wealthy or born wealthy are 6 to 8 times more likely to hurt themselves or end their own life.
Yeah.
And a little bit of it is because, and Dominic talked about it, and you're talking about it, and it's one of those things where I don't wish struggle on people. You don't, but I do in a small way where it's like, that's what gives people the resilience. That's what makes people keep getting off the floor. That's what makes people focus on the things that are important, because the money can come and go. The job can come and go, but the people in your life and the work that you did on yourself will never go anywhere. And, you're a huge example of it. I'm looking at the bio stuff for you. Is this true? I mean, it's gotta be true because I'm reading it. You're preparing for a bodybuilding competition?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at this. That's what I was going to say.
He's preparing for a bodybuilding competition.
Yeah.
His first one, right?
Yes.
This is exciting.
So I don't know why, but I went on.
Why not?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Why not?
I wanted to challenge myself, and I was like, you know what? I lost all this weight, and now I want to push myself even further. Right. So I started eating right, and I'm working out really hard, and I'm reading about what are the best foods to eat, this and that. And, if you look at my Instagram, it's flooded with a bunch of half naked men just working out. But right,
we all post it for ourselves. That's for other guys. So
it motivates me and it makes me want to get better. And I'm like,
Al.
I'm not getting any younger. I want to try this. So it's not about the outcome to me. It's about the process and going through it. That's what's most important. I could care less about winning. I could care less if I come in last place. I just want to do something. And I find it very important I told all my kids I'm going to do this. So I find it very important now that I have to follow through and be a man of my word.
Yeah.
Right. Because I want them to look at me and see, okay, this is an example of the way you should be as you grow into adulthood, pre-adolescence, adulthood, so on and so forth. So
I always think me and you could be brothers because because I did so I do modified triathlons and these races, and I don't belong in any of them, but I look at it and go, well, why not? Not about the outcome. The outcome has nothing to do with it. It's like, well, how far can I push myself to just be and see what I'm capable of? And a lot of it was for my son. And, he actually was great because I met him, a year and a half ago, and he came to, to the actual race last year, but I did my first one. And all my goal was to finish in my age bracket, finish decent.
Yeah.
And I did. And then I was like, oh, wait a sec. I think I'm capable. And then the next year I was like, maybe I can place. And then last year I wanted to place in the whole thing. And I got third, and it was and my bike broke, but it was I do these challenges, and now I'm excited because I see Al's back, and not that the dad bod thing is a bodybuilding show. They are clearly two different things. I understand, but my buddy John, I was just talking to him yesterday. He's a bodybuilding ready for a show. And he goes, and I start asking him all these real deep bodybuilding questions, like, hey, what do you do 2 weeks out? Like, what's peak week like? Are you on just tilapia and hot sauce? Like, what's going on? And he goes, why are you doing this? I go, I don't know, because I want to learn. Like, I want to see what the body's capable of. Not that I would ever do that. Like, but I also look at it and go, well, why not try something and see how far you can go? And that's why, like, Al was on 2 weeks ago, and I was excited that there's this other opportunity to just get out there with my kids and show them something. And now my son gets to be part of it, which is amazing. But all of it's just because I'm like, why not?
Exactly.
Like, why not?
What
Right?
did you show, Tom?
Well, so there's one in August and one in September. I'm still trying to decide which one I want to do. And I think it's
Do
because
both.
I've kind of got like a little bit of like this body dysmorphia, right? I lost.
We all have it, bro.
We all have it,
We
bro.
all have it,
A little,
bro.
little pinch of fat.
Bro,
we all have
I
body
was just talking to
dysmorphia. There's
Al,
that
and I'm
one
like, man, come on,
motherfucker.
bro. When is this gonna go
Yeah,
We
away?
joke
we
about
all
all
have
the
it.
time.
Hey, listen, here's the thing. There's bad body dysmorphia and there's good body dysmorphia,
Yes.
right? The bad is when people go too far extreme and they start fucking putting implants in their fucking face.
Yeah,
and all that shit.
yeah.
That's a little extreme. But going to the gym and realize that, you want to work a little harder, you want to change a little thing, I think that's good. It's a
Yeah.
good body dysmorphia,
Since
right?
I've known him, I always joke. He goes, what? People are like, why is Tony work out so hard? I'm like, I'm the fat co-host. I always joke about
I love that
for
motivator like
just-
that. I love that
I'm
motivator
like,
like
Chris in
that.
shape. I don't want to be a fat co-host. I
That's
just
awesome.
needed something. And then I remember one day, Chris, like, you have body dysmorphia. I was like, I know I do. It's totally fine. I'm
I was
like,
like,
it's all
just go with
good.
the fat
Don't worry about it.
co-host,
Don't worry
It's
about
like,
Yeah, dude.
no, it's all good. So,
funny.
I mean, your story could be a documentary. I'm gonna be honest with you, like, not only in what you went through and what you've overcome and how great you've landed with a great family and your kids. When I look at that stuff, when you're looking at your story overall, what do you think about your legacy overall? Do you ever because you're such a shining example for your kids, right? From where you come from to where you got to, now you have 3 of them. You're doing so many things that are just so amazing. Do you ever really think about at the end of the day what kind of legacy or what kind of mark you want to leave for your children?
I think about that all the time. To me, what I want to leave behind one day is just to be a good person, because ultimately at the end of the day, that's what matters. I have, through what I had to do in the military, not been a nice person. I've grown through the mentorship of, family members that have taught me how to be a good person. And, I try to practice it every day. Everywhere I go, I say, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. I hold the door for women. I just try to be the best example I possibly can be for myself. And then that'll eventually filter down to my children.
100%.
And that's
100%, bro.
I feel like children learn more from what they see you doing than what they hear you say.
100%,
Yeah.
bro.
So
100%. You lead by example. Now, kids are sponges, bro. We are, and this is why I say this all the time. I will die on this fucking hill. I swear to God, when it comes down to men's mental health, if you really want to make a change, if you really want to make a difference, you want to stop men from being abusive, you want to stop them from being, all these things that we saw in the comments, right? That women think men are. Then what you really have to do is you have to approach mental health for men 100% head on, and then create that safe place to talk about it, right? Because there is so many good men out there, so many good fathers that don't have a voice, that haven't spoken up and have lost the battle. That were good men that felt like they didn't have anybody, there was no turn. And I guarantee you, if they would have had somebody like you, or somebody like Dominic, or somebody like Al, or somebody like Tony or Christian in their lives, to be able to talk to see the example we set, it would have pushed them to do better. You know what I mean? That's why I feel like this episode right here, and I feel like everything we do is not just about us, because it's not. It's us creating a safe place, not just for us, but for everybody, for men, women, black, white. It doesn't matter. We create that safe place by doing the work. And we set that example, no matter how hard it is, and then talking about it. The fact we're actually speaking about it, like when we put that post up, I saw the biggest thing that was happening was girls were trying to shut it down. They were attacking it, trying to, saying it's your fault, blah, 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 all this stuff, trying to shut it down. And any person in that mind frame would have sat there and been like, oh, you know what? Why should I even talk about it? Why should I even bring it up? Obviously, it's all my fault anyway. Why am I going to speak about that shit? Even though you made it feel guilty for something that you really had nothing to do with, right? It's somebody else's pain they're projecting on you. you know, and that's why I think that's why I was so excited about this episode.
Yeah.
And I was excited about it because I knew you guys are all good examples of not just being a man, but being a father.
Yeah.
And being that good positive. And again, this is something we're really pushing for in 2026 is being that positive role model for positive masculinity. We are those men that open the doors. We are those men that say yes, ma'am, no, sir, and thank you. And we are those men that want to be there to pick our kids up when they fall down. You know, and I think it's amazing. It's amazing, Tom. You're a good guy, bro. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
You know?
You know, there's a lot of people, you know, just going back for a second to the PTSD, you know, a lot of men suffer in silence. So what do you think prevents a lot of men and veterans? What makes it so difficult to ask for help?
You know, I think I might have a really good answer on this. So, unfortunately, I think we live in a society where the male archetype, if you will, is supposed to be this headstrong man that goes to work and, you know, does what he's supposed to do and provide. And I don't think a lot of people understand the weight that a lot of men are carrying. Right, because we've been taught our whole lives since we're very young. This is the way a man is supposed to be. You know, you
suck it up, bro.
Suck it up, deal with it, rub dirt in it,
Yeah,
and just
welcome to life.
go about your business. And I'll be honest, I would have never sought the help of that I needed if it wasn't for someone telling me. And again, if you want me to tell the story, I will. But I'll never forget the day that someone told me, "Tom, you need some help." I'm like, "Man, what are you talking about? I need help." Do you know what I just did in Afghanistan? I don't need help. What are we talking about here? And you know. He forced me. He outranked me, and he said, "No, that's where you're going. You're going to behavioral health." I said, "Okay, whatever." And they diagnosed me with traumatic brain injury and TBI, and I was like, "There's nothing wrong with me." And I had to go to intensive outpatient therapy for a long time. And you know, while I was there, I learned a lot about myself, a lot about myself, and I started to believe, like, man, you know, I do need the help. And I got the help, and it didn't end there. Like after the military, I had to figure it out. Like I had to keep practicing those values, and then meeting my wife helped. And that's when I think everything started coming full circle. And
so I think you hit something on the nail head because I think you hit something that I also do. You said you had to go back and practice what you learned. What's the three things you would say that you go back when you feel yourself drifted off, right, and going back into that dark place? Those three fundamental things that you go back to, what would they be
for me?
Yeah.
Honestly, I take deep breaths. Deep breathing is very important for a lot of things in life, but it centers me. So when I do my deep breathing, you know, and just relax, it seems like everything that you thought was serious is no longer serious, especially if you do it for a couple seconds. And there were a couple other things I learned while I was in my intensive outpatient therapy. You know, carry a rubber band on you, flick it on your hand. You'll feel that, and that'll bring you back into like reality, and you're not thinking about all the craziness that you had to deal with. And then there's other things. Like, could be something little, like my wife carries chapstick everywhere she goes, and she might not even know this, but sometimes I'll just put one in my pocket, right? And just the feeling of that lets me know, like, oh, okay, everything's good, right? Nothing is really that serious.
Yeah,
and it's just, you know, those are just little things.
So I have three fundamental things I go back to, right? So mine are like I have videos that I go back and watch and re-listen to that I've listened to thousands of times that have that foundational building, right? I tell people all the time, especially when it comes to fitness or it comes to mental strength, right? Your mental capacity is based strictly on your repetition of the words you say to yourself, right? And the things you practice, and that means the things you're watching, the things you're reading, the things you're eating, the habits you create yourself, right? And for me, it was going back and having those fundamental videos where I connected with, or that book, The Power of Movement. You know, I've read the book I don't know how many fucking times, right? Those things took me back to where I was like, all right, this is the fundamental core of where I'm going. It's like learning how to walk. Like you crawled before you walked, and then you walked, and then you ran. You know, it's going back to those fundamental things that built the character of who you are, right? I think that's what you're also doing, correct?
100%.
100%, right? So you know, and I tell people, like, and I'm going to ask you the same thing. Was it easy?
No,
right?
No, nothing that's worth it in life is easy, in my opinion. If it's easy, then the way I look at it is if it's something easy, then I need to elevate my goal.
Yes.
And make it a little bit more difficult.
100%.
The goal is supposed to be difficult to attain. It's the reason why I want to try to do this bodybuilding competition.
Yeah.
It's not an easy goal. It's a very selfish goal. I have to take a lot of time away from my family. I got to cook. I got to do this. I got to go to the gym. right. And I'm going to be going against people that are probably way more physically fit than me, but I set out a goal and I'm going to do it. Whether I pass it or fail it, I'm going to do it.
So it's not easy. Is it worth it?
1,000,000%.
1,000,000%, right? Doing the hard thing is the best thing to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that fucking cool shit?
It's awesome.
It's so funny. It's so funny because freaking, you know, people run away from the struggle all the time. Like they'll drink, they'll do drugs, they'll complain, they'll point the finger. You know, it's fucking society's fault. It's the president's fault. It's, you know, everybody else's fault, right? And nobody. And I think it's something I've been thinking about. I'm gonna make a video about it soon. I've been thinking about it too because I've seen a lot of people make videos about, you know, yelling at people, you know, about their politics or their policy or whatever, right? People just yelling at each other. The Carmelo Anthony thing, people just yelling at each other back and forth. And what I really learned to discover, especially on social media, is that you have a lot of angry, hurt people that are really angry at themselves. You know, they're really angry at themselves and they want to be angry at other people because they're really unhappy with the choices they made in their lives. And that's why I said the moment you work on yourself, the moment you take responsibility yourself and accountability is the moment everything changes for you. Right? What's that?
So this is something I brought in for you guys. Hopefully you can hang it somewhere in here,
bro.
Fuck yeah.
Love
this
gifts.
This is called an infantryman's blue cord. This is one of my whys. I keep this hanging in my rear view all the time.
Really?
And this is probably one of my most prized possessions. Don't worry, I have others.
Oh, but it sounds like don't give it time.
No. It's important though because, you know, maybe it'll help the next person. You get this when you graduate being an infantryman.
Really?
And they put it over your shoulder, and this has helped. This is something I'm so proud to have this and one of my other medals I'm super proud of. So I look at this every day and it reminds me of where I come from and where I'm going.
Yeah.
So hopefully it can help one of the
thanks,
next
bro.
people on the
That's fucking cool as
on
shit.
the podcast for you.
No, that's very cool. Look at that.
Oh,
Look how cool that is. That's fucking cool, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much, dude. That means a lot, man. See that, you know, that's, you know, freaking that's why we do this.
yeah.
That's why we do this. You know, I want to call this episode "The Voice for the Voiceless" because I feel like again, we're all men that could have made a different choice very easily. You know, we went through some shit. You know what I mean? We could have made a very simple, different choice, and we didn't. You know, we fought it. You know, we beat those demons, all of us, right? And because we beat those demons, we're sitting here. The fucking how cool is that? Like that's cool as shit, right? We're sitting here sharing these stories, and now somebody out there right now, there's at least one person. We get that literally hears your story and they want to change. You know, they're gonna motivate themselves to do it, and they're not gonna feel alone, man. Thank you for this, bro.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you,
Absolutely.
man. We're gonna hang this right in front of the trophy.
Hell
bro.
yeah.
Right there.
There's
right there next to my book trophy.
two other questions we have for you that I think are important. I know they're important to you. Can you tell us about Wheels of Valor? Look at it.
So
Well, what
Wheels,
is it essentially? Why is it important?
Wheels for Valor is an organization that I started in collaboration with a retired sergeant major. And what we want to do with it is provide down payment assistance for veterans in need. Unfortunately, veterans don't get enough. There's a ton of resources out there, but then maybe not all the time easily accessible. And for whatever reason, most of the veterans out there, a lot of them are underprivileged. They're either homeless or they have no money. They can't find good jobs because of the PTSD they're dealing with, and they're working these jobs where they're not going to have enough money to, you know, get down payments for cars. So it's a non-for-profit organization that I started a couple months ago with a retired sergeant major, and yeah, we want to provide down payment assistance up to $1,000. We've been working with local companies to try to build that bank so that we could start rolling out the money for the veterans. There's no money involved in it for me. It's just something I want to do for the
anything advice and filter can do to help that out, bro.
No, that's why I wanted to bring it up, because anything we could do to talk about it and push it out for you, I know it's important to you. So
yeah, we'll definitely do that, bro.
And you know, this is an interesting question. I think that people probably don't think about that often. What is one thing civilians could do better to support veterans?
Oh, good question.
I got the funniest.
That was a good question.
I'm on fire today.
I got
on fire, bro. Look at Tony brought it. He brought it in today.
I got a funny one. Walk faster. I'm serious, man. Like,
walk faster.
Yeah, like I'm not. I don't know how to say it.
So
Like,
good.
I need you to move a little bit faster. Stop being so nonchalant. Everyone's like, "Oh, Tom, relax. You know, the world ain't coming to an end today." But the way I always tell my wife, I'll joke with her, I'll be like, "Yeah, but if something does pop off, listen, I'm prepared, right?"
Yeah.
And you might think I'm super vigilant or hyper vigilant, whatever the correct medical term is, but Just move a little bit faster. You ain't got to walk so slow.
I always think about the
good.
survival thing. Like, listen, without me, your survival's here. With me, your survival's here.
Yeah.
Here.
Look, as obviously you're going to come back on, and we'll have I'll come on in a second.
Yeah.
But obviously you have the camera there.
Yeah.
So what is your, I don't want you, it's all camera's yours. So message, what do you like? What would you want to leave people with? And of course, you're more than welcome to say some kind words to the family and the kids. So
make sure you give his kids a shout out. It is
Yeah,
Father's Day, so
yeah,
give
yeah,
your kids
yeah.
a shout, bro.
Shout out.
So what could I leave people with? Don't quit. If you say you're going to do something, do it. It's literally that simple. I think, a lot of people overcomplicate things, and it doesn't have to be overcomplicated. Just put your mind to it, put the work in, and the result will be there. Chase the process, not the outcome. If you follow the process, the outcome will be there regardless. And the last thing I want to say is to my wife and my children, thank you guys so much. I love you all. Ava, Zoe, Dominic, Stephanie. You guys are the reason why I do everything that I'm doing, the reason I wake up every morning, the reason why I come home every day. I know I'm tired a lot of the times, but I'm just working a lot. And I love you guys so much, and you all motivate me. So thank you.
It's because you don't have the calories right now.
That's definitely
That's exactly what it is.
Look, I can't even. It's such an honor. Like I can't.
That's such an honor, bro.
So,
Thank you, man.
so
I
look,
appreciate that, dude.
thank you for sharing your story. You were great.
Shout out, bro.
All right.
Shout out, dude.
So
That
we're
was
gonna
great,
come
man.
out, and then we're gonna bring Al on, and then we'll bring you all back.
for real.
Thanks.
Shout out to your wife,
Thank
man.
you.
Good
No,
job
for
saving
real.
this dude. Come here, bro.
Look, we
Thank
got
you,
a
man.
text.
Appreciate it,
Look,
man.
I told you before, we coach a woman who's and I know she's watching.
Oh,
Wherever she
Tanya?
is, Tanya.
Yeah, Tanya's been on there a couple
She
times.
immediately texted me. Cherish that gift forever. It's an honor and not one to be taken lightly.
Yeah.
My goal is that hopefully someone out there sees it and it motivates them.
Dude, no, you're in the perfect spot. It's right there behind my
Right there
head.
on our award right
Yeah,
there.
it's right there on our
there.
award, bro. We're gonna have it right there, hanging right there, bro.
I love it.
We got a little thing to forgive him.
Yeah, we gotta make it right.
Yeah.
All right, Al, come on, bro. Come
Come on, Al. Bring us home.
Bring us home. And I'll have you guys back in for our round table.
Yes.
By the way, we got to talk later so I can go over the rules of this thing for next week. So I'm gonna get the lowdown. I keep messaging him. I'm like, all right, how long do I have? What's the time limit? What do I have to do? Like, so.
All right, so we asked Al to come back, right? So we asked Al. We're gonna get Al a little emotional now.
Oh, man.
We asked Al to come back because in the area that we live in, everybody lost a good person, and Al was kind of shared about it a little bit. I don't want to go into too deep depth about it, but I want to talk about what's really important is why mental health is so important, right? I had a friend of mine who hurt himself, took his life. Was it back in February?
Mm-hmm.
Jim Zook, a graduate guy I graduated with, great guy, one of the biggest class clowns you could ever meet. Really just a great guy. I would have never expected in a million years Jim would take his life, but he did. And if I had to put a calculation on a number on it, I would think that's probably about 15 people from my age, from my class, from 2 years of my school. I would say a year behind me, my year that have taken their lives, all men. And this is why one of the reasons I brought Al on is because I want him to talk about it, because the guy that his friend that passed away was somebody he never saw coming. Right?
Never
saw it coming. So why don't we talk about that, Al?
Yeah, so maybe a few people maybe knew a little deeper about like what he was going through.
Mhm.
I'm sure his brother did, because his brother was always talking about it with him. But everybody else from the outside who saw him never saw it coming. I mean, super supportive, always happy, smiling. You would never get like a wrong signal.
Yeah.
It's always like, oh, what's up? How you doing? Good looking, this and that, whatever. You got something going on, you talk to him about it. He's like, oh, that sounds great. You need help with that or whatever it is. And you're like, all right, this guy is like on point all the time. He's just go, go, go.
Yeah.
And then you get that call.
Yeah.
Like, what? Why?
And nobody knows why. Right?
A lot of people don't know why.
Yeah. So one of the things I want to hit the topic here, and I want to hit it home, right, is how important it is. Everybody always thinks it's the guy who's miserable, the guy who's upset, the guy who's not doing well, right? But it's not, right?
No.
It's usually the guys who have the biggest mask on.
I mean, even with the job what I do now, I mean, I've had about 4 or 5 deaths.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, one guy was in the academy with me,
Really?
smiling, happy all the time. I was field training, and he didn't come to work for about 3 days. And then it's a sergeant of mine that works in Jersey now. He was his roommate. They called him up and said, "Have you seen him?" He goes, "No, I'm home. I'll be back down in DC soon. I don't know." He showed up,
Gone.
took himself out.
Yeah.
Nobody knew why.
And if you can, it's crazy, right? It's crazy how that happens, right? It's crazy how people don't bat an eye. You would think it would be more traumatic, right? You think it'd be more something that people that it'd be more open to talk about, And this is why I brought Al on, because I want to be able to talk about it, right? I want to be us to be able to sit here and understand something that when acts like that happen, right? It's us, and we're left to pick up the pieces, right? And I talk about this all the time. When people hurt themselves, they literally at the point where they're at a point where they feel like they're doing you a favor. They feel like they're doing the world a favor, right?
Yep.
They feel like them not being here would help everybody they care about, that nobody would even care. And it's exactly the exact opposite. But you're so dark in that hole. You get so dark in that hole, you don't see it that way. But that's why I want to create a safe place to talk about it. That's why I want to bring Alan and talk about it, right? Because I know you're hurting, bro. If we can, you know what I mean? And I saw it in your eyes last time you were here. And that's why I think it's very important, right? So if you had any words of advice, Al, for anybody going through this right now, right? Anybody out there listening, his brother might actually be watching. I reached out to somebody I know him and said, anybody you be on. And out of respect, I said we wouldn't mention anybody's name. We just, we're just going to talk about it as if. But if you had any word of advice for anybody struggling right now with the loss, what would you say?
Talk about it.
Talk about it. Right?
You have to.
Yeah. Look, it goes back to two things that I think we talked about when you were here last time, and obviously we talked about with Tom and Dominic. It's never the person you think it's going to be.
No.
And I think that when you start sitting back and thinking about it, we all have this tendency, and life is busy and things get hectic. And especially as men, we're always, we have so much on our plate to provide and do these things that sometimes there's little thoughts that come in our head. It's like, oh, I wonder what Chris is up to. And then it comes in and it comes out. We never think about it again. And I think we have to be better at just reaching out and just being like, hey, I'm just text you to say hi and just check in and see how you're doing. Yeah. And even to people who things you think are good, you really don't know behind the scenes. I think a lot of it, social media kind of messes that up because we only see highlights and we think everybody's doing great. And the reality of it is more people you would think are connected, but no, more people are lonely and more people are struggling.
Isolated.
Yeah.
Isolated. So let me ask you this, Al. If you could say anything to him now, what's the words of advice you'd say to him?
Words of advice?
Yeah, like if you could have talked before it happened, right? Because I think about this too. Like I think about I thought about Jim. I feel guilty about it. I thought about Jim Zook. I literally thought about him because I saw him make a post that I could tell he was doing bad. Like, I could tell he was in that mindset. But I haven't talked to Jim in like 20 years, right? So I'm like, who the fuck am I to reach out to Jim, right?
Yeah.
And then 2 months later, I see that he took his life, right? And I'm like, fuck, man, maybe I'm an idiot. Like I had a voice in my head. I should have reached out. I don't know if it would have made a difference, but I should have said something, right? So if you, and the only reason I'm asking is not to say that you should have said something. I'm not saying at all. I'm asking you because I want somebody who might be having the same thought in their mind right now to hurt themselves to hear what they need to hear, right? So if I was sitting here right now in front of you, man, and you knew I was thinking about hurting myself, what would you say to me? What would be the words of advice you would give to me?
It's deep.
Yeah. I respect you, bro. That's why I asked you the question.
Probably be more like, how can I help you?
Yeah.
What can I do for you?
Yeah.
The thing that we all think, and I'm very close to somebody who almost did, and I only bring it up because it tends to be a lot of the same conversation. What I would say, I know immediately what I would say to somebody: you are not a burden.
Yep.
You're not a burden. I hear it. I've heard it. I've heard someone say it. I've sat with them when they were saying it, and there's this thought that they can't get out of their head that the world's a better place. And this goes right down your thing. The world's a better place because they're not in it. And that is so 100% not true. And I think about I always go back to the story. Me and you talk about it, about the guy who tried to jump off the Golden Gate Bridge and wound up surviving in the seal
the seal swimming back to water, back to thing.
And I'll
Did you remember
never.
that story?
No.
Oh,
Dude, the guy jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge. The moment he jumped off, he regretted it. He's like, "Fuck, what am I doing?" Hits the water, breaks his back. Right? He feels something push him under the water. It's a fucking seal. Takes him back to the fucking beach.
The Golden Gate Bridge is the number one place.
A lot of seals out there.
Right. There's sharks in that water. In San Francisco, the Golden Gate Bridge. The Golden Gate Bridge is the number one place in the country where people choose to hurt themselves because of the way it's the water and the way it's heightened.
I've seen about 3 bodies jump off the Verrazano.
Yeah. Nobody survives, but he did. And what I love about his story is, to your point, because now he speaks about it. And it just sits in my head. He goes, the minute they said the second his feet left the bridge, his immediate thought was, I made a mistake.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you don't get that back. And no. Look, it's there. I don't know that what's the right or wrong thing on my side at the time, but all I could do was just keep telling the person that they're not, that I remember sitting there and just being like, or let's just play this out. If you do it, do you not see the domino of like how many people are going to be hurt and the people that are going to miss you and what it's going to mean? And then it really kind of helped that person see it. But it's just that I hear it so often. It's that I'm just a burden. Why do I need to be? And actually, going back to when Dominic was on, right? And Dominic said the same thing. It's like, you have this moment where you're like, I'm good. Like I'm good. I've done everything I'm going to do. I've actually heard the person close to me say, I'd rather end it because the insurance money would be better and would do better for people that were close than me being around. And that is 100% not true. And if anything that comes out of this podcast, a lot will come out of this podcast, is that your kids need fathers and they need mothers and they need sisters and brothers, and they need you to be around. They don't need you not in their life. They don't need the money. They don't need none of that matters if you're not around. And it's just such an important thing to think about.
It's one of those things, man. And as soon as anybody out there thinking about it, right? Anybody thinking about hurting themselves, I just want to make this perfectly clear. That pain that you're feeling, that burden you think you have, when you do that, when you take that leap, that jump, that pain and all that burden you're putting on everybody that loved you, everybody that cares about you. Now you carry that pain. I carry that pain, right? It doesn't dissipate. It doesn't disappear just because you're not here. If anything, you just made it worse for everybody that loves you, which is the exact opposite of what you think you're doing. It's the exact opposite, man. And I think the one thing that we could all say about it here in this, in all of our survival story, because again, we all have been through the shit. That's why you're all here, right? We've all been through the shit. That's why we're all here. I think the biggest thing that we can take from all of this, right, is to bring it full circle. Is that Chris is full circle. Is that the world might not be how you pictured it, but it can be better than you ever thought it could be. If you just keep moving forward. I think it's the biggest thing you can take from all this, right?
Yeah, I think, like I said in the last show, you asked me, I forget what the question was, but I said, doing it, you think the grass is greener on the other side, but when you do it, you change the color of the grass for everybody else. Yeah.
You change for everybody else, man. Now you change for everybody else, dude. Now I forget. I think that's key, right?
You don't make it greener.
Yeah, nah, bro. And that's the thing, and that's why I can't be more proud of all of you, of all the work that you've all done. That's why I asked you all to be on the show, because I respect all of you and I respect your stories. And I think that it's very important for men like us to share our stories, because when we share those stories, we give people hope, right? We give them something that they didn't have before, that they can see something in us that they see in themselves, which gives them the drive to push forward. That's why my book was, it's never just about me. It's about we. We change the world together, guys. You know what I mean? I think it's huge. Before we get everybody on, Al, give your promo
Yeah,
here.
what's going
Give me-
on
give me a
next
call,
weekend,
shot
bro?
here,
What's going
Next
on?
weekend, what's
12
happening?
days. 12 days is 11, I think.
Yeah.
I lose count. We got the New Jersey Fit Body competition.
Yeah,
Jersey
that's
Fit
a
Body
big
competition.
Yeah.
Bar A. We
Yeah.
got the dad bods.
Woo!
So we're looking forward to all that. Good challenges and good fun. Family event. Bring the family out, have good time with your kids. Show daddy's hard work.
There
Out
you
there,
go.
make a moment, good memory,
Oh,
you
it's
know, all that
exciting.
good stuff. It's gonna be a beautiful day too.
Yeah.
Is it?
I'm watching the weather. It looks like it's gonna be like maybe high to mid 70s. So it's gonna be
nice,
that
cool.
sweet spot.
Yeah.
So you'll be out,
Perfect,
the
bro.
sun's gonna be nice and warm, maybe a cool breeze, and everybody's having a great time.
There you go.
Then we're gonna do the King and Queen after that. And I'll be there pushing verified. We got like 21 vendors. There's gonna be so
Nice.
much going on at once. It's gonna be
Bio Med Spa is gonna be there, right?
yeah, Bio Med Spa is
Bio
gonna be
Med's
there. I got
yeah.
Alliance, got a Compass. I have a gold members coming, a jewelry company. I have barbers coming.
That's fucking cool
So if you
shit.
show up on Sunday,
You're
You
gonna
need
you
a
know what I mean,
haircut.
and you didn't get to go to the barber shop, you were busy with the kids. I don't know, you had things going on with the family, you couldn't make it. Come on Sunday, have a great time watching this show, and get a nice cut. I mean, you can't go wrong.
Get some peptide shots, you'll be good.
Yeah, you got a little
Right.
vitamin shot, a
The vitamin
peptide shot, a
shot,
fresh
vitamin-
cut. You're leaving there feeling like $1 million.
Right. My friends are so like it's actually it's got to it
I
was
love that.
my, we have like so we have the coaching program. People in our ambassador program bought a table. They're flying in. My whole family's coming. My wife's father, Jerry's coming.
That's awesome.
Jerry's
Jerry.
coming. And then my friends now are like, hey, you got extra like can you get us a like it is in my own little circle. If people are so psyched. And like so I actually just told my son like today, I told him, and I not telling any secrets, but I was like, all our stuff came in today. And he's like, it did. And I'm like, oh yeah, buddy. I'm like, oh yeah,
I'm excited.
his friends are coming. Like it is. I'm
Yeah.
super. It's so excited.
I'm excited because I just want to see the dads go up there and rock so hard, you
Yeah.
know, with their kids, just have a blast with them.
It's gonna be so much
And
fun.
like the dad jokes are going to be so much fun to listen
yeah.
to.
Bro.
And then the challenge is just going to be a great time.
Yeah.
Like the challenge is just going to be like everyone, the energy that you're going to feel rooting out each dad to go and kill the time.
Yeah.
It's like, let's go. You know, it's
Fuck
going to be like, that's just going to be everything going on at once. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be so much fun.
The best thing I want
Love
people
that.
just to take away. Yeah, there it
There it
is. Is what you just said is that and this is what people I just always want to take away. And you guys are going to come back on for the roundtable. Fitness is a beautiful community because at the end of the day, you're really cheering each other on for all the hard work you did.
That's right.
And I know, like, you know, Tom was talking about it. It isn't, yes, there's a part of you is competitive no matter what you're doing. That's like, hey, I want to do this to see how well I do. I'd love to win. But also it's just getting up there and showing your hard work and then the other people appreciating it. And the community is always just so supportive
Right.
that it's really going to be,
You know,
it's going to be so much
It's going to
fun.
be so much fun.
I thought about this today when I was at the gym. How like I was in the guys' locker room and how everybody's like, "Yo, bro, what's up, man? What's up?"
Yeah.
Everybody's so fucking like all the guys are like, "Yo, bro, you look good. You look jacked." You know what I mean? Everybody's so supportive at a gym. At least in my experience. You know,
No,
I
it's
think,
everywhere.
you know what I mean?
That's how it is.
I figure
No
like
matter,
just-
no matter what the shape they're in. I mean,
Yeah,
you
dude.
go in the locker room, some guys a little big, a little small. This now everyone's like, "What's going on? How you feeling? Feeling
Yeah,
good?
dude,
Yeah, I
yeah,
got a good
feel
workout
good.
in.
What's up, Steph?
What's up,
All
bro?
right, sick.
You know?
I got a good lift in today. That's good, bro. It's
Yeah.
awesome. You know, it's like it's just a great feeling going in and out.
Fuck yeah,
You
bro.
don't even realize we do it. Like when I see, like when I was getting ready for a race, I had people come up to me and go, "Hey man, you look great. I saw you lost a little weight." And I'm like, wait. And then I realize I do it to people. I'll see people and go, "Oh my God, dude, like I see you got me down." Like, and you don't even realize you do it, but
I think the gym community is one of the best communities to be a
Oh,
part of.
it's
You know what I mean?
awesome.
It's fucking one of the best things. So
All
I'm
right.
gonna give hold on. I want to give
Go
Al.
ahead.
I want to give Al the same thing that we give everybody else. So if you had one word of advice to give somebody, man, struggling right now, what would you say?
Find that person. Find that person. Go talk to somebody. Find somebody who, you know, is going to be a good listener, and find the support that you need. Always. I mean, it's out there. I mean, you just have to. You gotta open your mouth and say something. Sometimes you
Yeah,
can't.
that's hard.
Staying quiet doesn't get you nowhere. You got to find somebody, whether it's a therapist, whether it's a best friend. It could be somebody at the gym, like you and Dominic. I mean, it's just somebody you could say something to, or somebody that's always rooting you on that makes that difference. But you got to open your mouth.
Yeah.
You just a little
Say
bit.
something.
Say something.
Say something.
Even if it's something, you know,
Right?
something.
Yeah,
Just give
say
a signal.
something.
Give something out there, because we all deserve to be heard.
Yeah,
You know.
100%, bro. Give your kids a shout out, bro.
Shout out
It's Father's
to
Day.
Give a shout out to Kylie and Desi. Kylie's just turned 9 and Desi's turning 4 in August. And
Nice.
to my wife, my biggest supporter, and
There you go,
you know,
bro.
she's what she keeps us all together, and She keeps us strong.
Yeah,
you know?
I love that, bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, dude. All right, bring the other ones on. Let's bring everybody else on. Let's fucking bring in the round table, everybody.
All right.
All right.
You can adjust that camera back.
Yep.
Why don't we move you over here?
Okay.
Yeah. There we go. Doing a little change
Kept it
here.
warm for you, Tom.
Little change here.
Thank you.
There we go. And Dominic's got a mic hooked up.
I got one.
Awesome.
Yep,
right.
we got it all set up.
Okay. Good job, bro. Thank you. I didn't even put you on the spot. But
No, it's
you know what I
okay.
mean?
It's
Like,
all right. I don't
I mean, I
know.
respect your
You got
opinion.
room
about
so
it.
you
So I
can
think,
switch more in
you know,
this bad
somebody
boy.
see somebody like you and me
And
and
then
these guys
I'll
talking
rock
about
the
it.
video.
Yeah,
You
that
put
makes
you
a
uploaded it
difference,
already, right?
Always. You know, they automatically get this image in their head that we're just like some fucking macho man, fucking blah blah blah.
That's how
And,
we're
and if they other young men see us,
I'm excited.
be vulnerable, be open.
Should be.
All right,
You know,
let's
we
go
can
to
make
us.
that difference. Instead of that fucking manosphere shit. We can
Click
show
on-
them it's
you click
okay
on
to
us.
fucking express your emotions.
That's what I'm talking
in a
about.
positive way,
Right, it's
in a safe
better.
environment, right?
Yeah, you can.
This is weird.
Sometimes it's
Hell
fucking
yeah.
This is fucking weird, bro.
Hi.
I don't know who's darker, Tanner. You gotta say that to son, Tony.
Yeah.
Fucking, fucking
This
shit.
is I'm 10 days out.
Hey, everybody, it's me, Christian, the real fat co-host.
There we go. Just like this is the new show right here, bro.
All right, so we got some
All right.
questions, right? So this is how it works,
All right.
guys. All right, so this is how it works. We know nothing. I know nothing.
Oh,
You
yeah,
know
the-
nothing. Tony knows the questions.
Yes.
So Tony's gonna read off the questions, and what we'll do is we'll go down the line here.
All
Figure
right.
so
Well, I have individual questions for you guys.
Oh, beautiful.
Make it easy.
Let's do it. Let's do
So,
it, bro.
so we'll I'll just call on you, and then you just give your answer. So, all right. So I'm gonna start with you, Al, since you in the big seat, bro.
Okay.
All right, you in the big seat. All right. When people see veteran, father, or husband, they often see strength. What is something about being a man that you think people don't understand?
I think how many hats we wear. Like Dominic and Tom were saying, it comes with a lot of stress, a lot of weight on your shoulders. You have to learn a lot about yourself, and then you have to push that out and carry whatever comes in front of you. So I'm not saying that I'm not taking away from moms and what they do or anything like that. Me being a dad, when I had my first child, I had to learn a lot, and I had to change who I was. My daughter changed me a lot. A lot.
Kids do that to
Oh,
you,
yeah, we
bro.
got the
Yeah,
Kids fucking do that to you.
Well, it's like, and it's like, I don't know how to be a dad, but I learned, I was fortunate enough to have a dad in my life and my mom, and I saw how hard they worked, and they had their difficulties and things like that, but I took from grandpa, from dad, from other people I see, and I had to put that all together, and then at the same time justify things that I thought was right and wrong that I didn't like they did that I thought was wrong, and make them right. And you learn how to be a dad, and as a vet, you learn how to walk this straight line and just go. There's no excuse to be made because you don't have that opportunity when you're in there. It's like you get told when, how, and it doesn't matter why. You're just going. Because if you don't, you got a problem. Right?
Well, according to Tom, obviously you guys walk faster than the rest of everybody else.
Yeah. No, we do. Believe me, I hate when there's somebody slow in front of me. It's like I'm like going left or right. I'm flying around you. I got somewhere I got to be.
So funny. It's so funny.
All right. This question goes out to let's go to Tom. All right. I don't know if there is a right or wrong, but looking back on your military service, what was harder to deal with? The challenges during deployment or the challenges coming home?
Ooh, that's I'd say they're both equally as challenging, different challenges, but equally as challenging. I can't speak to every military occupational specialty out there. I could speak to mine because that's what I know. And what I had to do overseas was very difficult. You're not a human being is not meant to do those things. And when you have to do them, you find out really fast, like what you got to do. So that was very difficult. And morally, I have my objections towards it, but coming home is a different animal as well, because the resources that are there are not readily accessible, and you lose coming home. You lose that cadenced lifestyle of be up at this time, do this, do that, be here at this time, be ready for, you know, whatever it is. And you have to do it all on your own. And that's what they don't teach you. And it took me a long time to figure that out. So I'd say coming home is more difficult because you got to figure it out, and you got to figure it out fast because the world is unforgiving and it will leave you behind if you let it. So
amen to that one, bro.
That's the truth.
Amen to that one. You got to figure it out quick, man.
All right, Tom, you're up. As a father,
Is it Dom or Dominic?
oh, that's like no, Dom. I know I
We
threw them
just
all
did
together,
Tom.
right?
Dominic.
Tom. All right, Dominic. All right, this makes it easier.
Can you find Dominic? Where's the camera?
All right.
There we go. There you
Okay,
go.
Dominic. As a father, what is one lesson you hope your children will learn from your life and your struggles? Not from what you say, but what you've lived through to get to this point.
I think, you know, one of the things that I really, I guess I hope they learn from just watching, because like you said, Tom, I think it's much more in your actions that they see and they learn from them, what you say, is that I just hope they truly see that, you know, no matter how hard life gets, like you have the control to continue to move forward, and you have the people there to support you. And no matter how hard you think it is in that specific moment, it will be so much better. It's so difficult to see that because there's so many things that put blinders on you. But it truly, you know, just speaking from me personally, I never thought I'd be here again, and not even here in so much of a better place. And I hope that they can truly see that.
And by the way, I want to give you props because one of the things that you said when you first came on was something that me and Chris talk a lot about. And, you know, we didn't talk about it before the show, but the fact that you talk in a positive way about your ex is huge for your kids.
Yes.
And we talk a lot about that.
Yeah, we talk a
so
lot
I
about
give you
that,
credit for that because we didn't even say anything to you and you just naturally said it. And it's a huge benefit to the kids. So I give you a lot of credit for that.
Yeah.
It's very important because in everybody's struggles, like things happen and they react or they do things that is maybe not their true character, but deep down they're still good people. They're still a parent to your child.
Give you such bad props,
You
bro.
know?
Such bad props. He's like, you say he's not the character of the person. No,
It's
the back of the bar. You think like,
Yeah.
Look, we try, but yes, it's
fucking good.
You cannot. You have to just be positive for your kids, man.
I know, dude. Listen, you're spot on, bro. You're 100% spot on. And the truth of the matter of fact is, it's fucking hard sometimes.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yes,
it's
it
hard
is.
sometimes because you're like, all right, so but you're right. You're absolutely right. You did the right thing.
Chris.
We try.
Look, I always think of this, and I say it all the time to my son, and I mean it. I go, you know, he always will ask me like how or why, and I go, buddy, I didn't fall in love with that person later. Like originally, everything was what started off great.
Yes.
And of course, whatever happened, but no, it wasn't always like that. Because I had to clear that up real quick. Because my son's like, "Hey, can I talk to you for a minute?" Like, how in the hell did you? I'm like, no, it's not how it. I didn't just go, "Oh, you're a train wreck. Great, let's do this." So it's like,
your red flag.
No.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So,
my life. Great.
all right, Chris, you're up.
I love that.
Yes, you're up, Chris. If you could sit down with a 20-year-old man, and this is important because I think in the gym culture, you come across a lot of people in their 20s. Come across a 20-year-old man who feels lost, anxious, disconnected. What advice would you give him?
Oh man, that's easy. I would tell him you don't know shit yet. Like you don't know the fucking thing at 20 years
Still
old.
behind
Dude, you know what I
the
mean? Yeah, I saw something the other day that said men don't reach their mental capacity until they're 50. In which case, I'm a fucking genius next 2 months. I'll be 50 in 2 months. You know. I would tell them, man, listen, that there is nothing in this life that is easy, and everything that you should ask the world for struggle. You should ask the world for things to go through that are difficult, because those are the things that make you live. Those are the things that drive you forward. Those are the things that help you find who you are, that make you who you are. Don't ask for an easy life, man. Ask for a life that's full of excitement and adventure, and understand that everything you go through, and I say this all the time, right? And it's unfortunate because, I know for all of us, we didn't have this education. Nobody taught us this, right? Nobody said, hey, man, blah, blah, blah. And that's why it's so important that we talk about it, especially for the younger generation. Like, this is one of the reasons I speak about it, being a father. I have 2 boys. I have 2 sons, man. And I put myself in their shoes all the time. I put them in my shoes, I should say. I put them in my shoes. If my sons were going through this, how would I want them to respond? How would I want them to do it? As a father, how would I want my kids to be able to handle this situation they're going through? And that drives me, because I'm like, I would tell my kids not to get the fuck up. I would tell them to keep fucking pushing forward. I would tell them the day's going to get better. As day is long, the miles are long as fuck and hard to get through. But at the end of the day, when you get to that destination, everything is fucking worth it, man. And Tom hit the nail on the head earlier when he said, you gotta love the journey, not the goal. It's the journey, man. You gotta love the journey, right? And you literally have to understand something, man, that there is opportunity in the struggle. That opportunity is you getting to know you, you getting to be a better person, and you finding the strength in who you are. Don't wish for an easy life, man. Ask for a life that's full of journey and excitement. That's what I would tell a 20-year-old person. 100%.
All right. So you guys, sorry, Captain. All right. So you guys were kind enough to give me pictures, which I lied to all of you and told you there for our intro.
Wait, is this a song?
And Chris doesn't realize that I pulled a scammer move and stole all his photos and videos.
All right.
So I have a Father's Day gift for the 4 of you, is why I came back here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to give you guys your Father's Day gift. And then when we come back, we will wrap it up so you guys can say one last thing before we leave. So this is the Advice Unfiltered gift to you guys. All right. So happy Tuesday. So first, a huge shout out to Christopher, David, Al, Dominic, and Tom. The episode was fantastic. Funny enough, I'm filming this before the episode, so I know it went great. Why? Because all of us are shining examples of what it is to be a great father, a great human being, a great man. To let people know that not only did we have to pick ourselves up, did we have to go through the grief and the struggles, and sometimes we thought we'd have to go alone, but then how powerful it was to find people like our wives and our family and our friends to pick us up, and how powerful it is to be able to talk about your feelings and emotions. So what I did as a Father's Day gift to all of you is I wrote a song in your honor. So there are lyrics in this song and the world premiere of the song Till I'm Buried that deal with the military. Chris, you'll hear the Superman line in there from the day that your son told you you're Superman. And I really try to think about the fact of what we go through, the struggles that men go through, how we have to hide them. And ultimately, we're willing to do that to the day that we die, as long as it means that our friends and our family and our kids are going to be okay. But we really need to make sure that we can talk about it and share those things and talk about our struggles and tell people we love them. And all of you are shining examples of what it is to be a great man. So, with no further ado, to wrap up the show tonight, here is the world premiere of our song, Till I'm Buried, for you gentlemen, as a gift from me. And hopefully we'll be able to share this out to the world. And if it even just reaches one person and we save a life, it was worth it. And I appreciate all of you for that. With that being said, we're no longer waiting. Here is the world premiere of Till I'm Buried. And you can actually find the song everywhere right now. Amazon, iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube, everywhere you listen to music, the song is available and you can download it. And Christian will put the link in the chat. Gentlemen, happy Father's Day.
There's a crack in the mirror staring back at me. A little more gray where the black used to be. I've been working these hands down to the bone, making damn sure my family never feels alone. Got a smile for the world, got a storm inside. I learned a long time ago how to swallow my pride. Everybody needs something and everybody needs me. But nobody asks if there's anything I need. So I bite my tongue and I hold that line. Yeah, I wear these scars like they're medals of mine. I'll carry this weight till I'm buried. Stand in the rain when it's cold and I'm weary. Be the shoulder, be the rock, be the man they all need. Even when the world forgets about me, I'll fight these demons nobody sees. Keep showing up when I'm down on my knees. For my friends, for my kids, for the life that I lead. I'll carry this weight till I'm buried. My little boy still thinks I'm 10 feet tall, like I'm Superman, so I can't fall. So I wipe off the dirt, put the armor back on, pray, learn strength without learning my wrongs. Lost a couple good men that I thought would stay. I'm friends with the darkness that took them away. The names hit me hard when the night gets still. Numb the pain of life with those same pills. Cause we're tough, be strong, but don't be too tough. Show your feelings, son, but don't show too much. I'll carry this weight till I'm buried. Stand in the rain when it's cold and I'm weary. Be the shoulder, be the rock, be the man they all need. Even when the world forgets about me, I'll fight these demons nobody sees. Keep showing up when I'm down on my knees. For my friends, for my kids, for the life that I lead. I'll carry this weight till I'm buried. Yeah. Some nights will break when nobody knows. Behind closed doors when nobody goes. The strongest men cry when nobody's around, but we keep getting up when we're beaten down. Same old scars underneath different names. Different faces fighting through the same pain. Holding on and letting go feels right. Just trying to make it through another night. I'll carry this weight till I'm buried. Stand in the rain when it's cold and I'm weary. Be the shoulder, be the rock, be the man they all need. Even when the world forgets about me, I'll fight these demons nobody sees. Keep showing up when I'm down on my knees. For my friends, for my kids, for the life that I lead. I'll carry this weight till I'm buried. Till I'm buried. Till I'm buried.
Hello, YouTube Nation. Welcome back to our channel. I'm Tony.
I'm Tyler.
And so we've been thinking about it. We read some comments, and it looks like we want to recreate the...
It's the Rocket Mentos.
Yeah, so we've seen on YouTube, you have a lot of people doing the Mentos and the Diet.
Bitch.
All right, so as
Sort
we
of pick the
bring
theme every year.
the show to a close, oh, we got our mic. Is our mic
Yeah.
on? All right, so as we bring the show to a close, I appreciate all of you. You're great men. Thank you for being on the show. Dominic, Tom, and Al, getting on the show and saying what you said and sharing your story with the world and not being afraid and knowing, there people are watching and this is going to live. Not only speaks to the character that the three of you are, but also the fact that how proud your families and kids can be of you. It's not easy. Me and Chris, and obviously, Chris is a shining example of this as well, but it's not easy to talk about how we suck. It's not easy to talk about how it's not easy to talk about the problems we have and put it out in the universe and talk about that, we struggle with darkness and ending our lives and drinking and the things that we have on our plate. But somebody out there watched this tonight and has made a better choice. And that's the thing that matters the most. And, as far as Chris is concerned, this is a huge, long journey for him. I know how important this episode was for him. And nothing makes me more proud than to watch you, because as your friend, I know what I love watching you and Avery together. And as you go through the steps, I know what that's like. And I look at these Tyler photos when he has the glasses and it wore cartoon characters and were in the car.
Right.
And I went through all your pictures and I was like, I was just like watching what I went through it. And it's so touching. So, but outside that, gentlemen, we want to give you guys a chance to say one last thing goodbye. So if we want to go around Al and then, Tom and Dominic, if there's anything else that you want to say, cameras right there. So if you want to say goodbye to your, shout outs to anybody, we'll do that. And then Chris, you can bring us home as always. So Al, anything before we leave?
Well, first of all, it was great meeting Dominic and Tom. Thank you for your service. And thanks for having me back on the show. Bro. Shout out to my wife and my kids. Father's Day is this Sunday. I'm a millionaire just because of you. Also, anybody out there ever need someone to talk to? Well, my handle is Albie Physique. I'm also Verified Fitness. I'm also New Jersey Fit Body.
New Jersey Fit Body. There you go. New Jersey Fit Body.
Anyone out there, I'm always. I had a guy reach out to me not too long ago, DM me asking me a bunch of questions about fitness and stuff like that. And he just became a dad, and he felt his kids gave him the motivation to take care of himself. And he was like,
True.
And he goes, "How do you do it?" And I was like, "Well, what is it you want to know exactly?" And we were going on and on and on and on and on. And he was like, "Yo, I really appreciate you talking to me about that. Like, it helped me, motivate me more." And I was like, "No problem, man. Anytime you have any more questions, hit me up. I'm always available. Anybody watching this who has questions, or
say those handles one more time.
Albie Physique, Verified Fitness,
Verified Fitness.
Even if it's NJ Fit Body.
Yeah. So if you want to reach
my
out,
wife watches that one too. So we're always watching the feed coming in and stuff like that. But anytime you guys, anyone out there watching, have any questions or you just want to say hi, you want to talk about, hit me.
Love that.
I don't have any problem listening.
Fucking love that. Love that. You're up, bro.
Yeah. Thank you guys. It's been a pleasure coming on here. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a pleasure meeting you two gentlemen, and hopefully we can all get together again soon, one of these days.
That'd be great.
To my wife and my kids, I love you guys so much. Thank you for all. Without you guys, I wouldn't. I have trouble making my bed, so man, without you, I wouldn't have a made bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Dom.
No, I'll piggyback. Not sound like a broken record, but thank you, Chris, Tony, for giving me this opportunity, and Chris for pushing me a little bit to do this. It's definitely out of the comfort zone, but like you guys said, I hope this reached 1-2 people. Just something. Just know that there are people in your life who care a lot. So just reach out again, like anybody said. If you see me, you can absolutely come say hi, talk to me. I got no problem. I love talking to people. And a pleasure. I think we probably pulled a couple good friends out of this one too. So thank you guys again. And thank you for my family for everything.
All right. And which one's our mic?
Yeah, this one is ours.
So which side is our mic on?
Yeah, it's our mic.
And as always, to bring the show to a close, the one and only Mr. Christopher David.
This is crazy when it's right here.
Love it. I love this episode. I loved last year's Father's Day episode. I think we nailed it out of the park there with the kids. But this is definitely right along that same level there. Thank you to each of you. I know this isn't easy. I know the topic that we decided to discuss wasn't easy, right? Talking about yourselves, talking about your struggles, not an easy thing. But this is something that is so important that we set the example for. It's 10 years in the making, yeah, man, I can't tell you on an emotional level how for the last 10 years, this means the most to me because I knew there was so many good men in this world that didn't have a voice, that didn't have anything to say, that they didn't feel like what they said mattered. And I knew it was wrong. I knew it was wrong. And I know, and I totally believe, and I'll say this again, I'll die on this hill, that if we really want to make a change, man, it starts with all of us. It starts with all of us being open and honest and creating that door. It's not that like in the song said, man, we're told to be strong, but not too strong. We're told to be emotional, but not too emotional. Well, that's all bullshit. All of it. You can be the man you want to be. It's all up to you. It's your choice. Thank you to Dominic. Thank you to Tom. Thank you to Al. We are the voice for the voiceless. That's what this episode is. Oh, wow. But no, it's the truth. We've lost so many good people in our lives because they didn't have somebody to talk to, and they felt like they didn't have anybody, and they felt like they were alone. We're here, right here, all of us, right here. You're not alone. You're not alone. Like there's a lot of good men out there. There's a lot of people out there that want to make a difference. There's a lot of good fathers. There's a lot of good leaders. A lot of good examples of what a positive masculine man is, and that's what we're really promoting in 2026. We are gunning ho, moving forward to what it is to be a positive masculine man. I'm sorry that my nose keeps running. I look like I fucking got snots. But I can't say this enough, man. Thank you guys for being on here. Thank you for being brave enough to talk about your stories. Thank you for letting everybody know that truly there is good men out there. The world is not full of hate. It's not full of anger. It's not full of people hating each other. This is not a race war. This is not an ethnicity war. This is not a cultural war. This is a humanity thing. We are all human on a big blue fucking marble going through space. And we're all just trying to do the best we could possibly ever do. And I want to thank you to everybody watching. I want to thank you to everybody that listened. I want to thank you everybody that shared, followed, subscribed. I want to thank you all, man, because again, this is what I've been fighting for. For the last 10 years, I have fought to give a voice, man, so that my kids, our kids, will have a voice. Our kids will have an opportunity to be the men their freedom to be, right? And again, this isn't just a men's thing, right? The only reason I'm emphasizing on men is because it is Men's Mental Health Month. And we do deserve a month. We do deserve a month. And why we deserve a month? We deserve a month because it gives us the opportunity to talk about it. It's not about because we're better than anything else or fucking we feel there's some kind of competition. It's not that. This is a month that was made in 1992 for men to have the freedom to be able to speak, to let them know that, hey, you're not alone in the world, that it's not just me versus you, us versus them. It's us together. Again, we want to change the world. It's not just about me. It's about we. We change it together. And that's what makes a difference, man. So thank you to everybody. I appreciate you. This is the best show that we've done so far. We got many more to come. Check out Al on the 28th. We'll be in Belmar, New Jersey.
Yeah, come on out. Come out.
Check out Al. We'll be at Belmar, New Jersey for the bodybuilding show. See Tony without his shirt off. Maybe you'll see me in a banana hammock. Who knows? Who knows what might happen at that show? But it'll be a great time. But thank you to all you guys. Love you guys. This is Advice Unfiltered, episode 21, the Father's Day special, the voice for the voiceless.
Awesome.
That was awesome, bro, right?
That was awesome.
I always bring it home, right?